Write down 3 things that brought you here today. I mean, really write them down. Write out 3 things that brought you here today. Please don't tell me you came to see me. That was a waste of time. So write down 3 things you'd like to get out of this session today. And then during the day, by the way, if you have a question, I'll answer it. Just raise your hand. Let me call on you. I'll answer it. If it's one of those questions that takes me off, I'll say, we'll table it for the break and we'll discuss it later. You guys okay with that? All right. Now, when you ask me a question, please keep it short. I don't want to hear your life story. Not today. But later on I will. Okay? Go. All right? Everybody with me so far? Yeah. All right. Now, if we don't know what we want to sell, and what I want to do is start orienting what I'm going to talk about today. How many people here want to make a 6-figure income? You know, all of us, right? If you look at the majority of people in the nation today, a lot of people don't make 6 figures. The average is around 50,000. So I'm assuming the reason that you're here is because you're trying to get to a 6-figure income, whether it's working with or for a company. But I'm going to focus more on small businesses and entrepreneurs. Is that the majority of people here? Yes. Or at least thinking about getting into their own business? Good. If you don't know what you want to sell, it's a problem, all right? Okay, so we're going to talk about that. If we don't identify who we're selling to, is that a problem? Yes. Absolutely. Is that a problem? Oh, yes. All right, just want to make sure you're still alive. If we don't know how big the market is, do we have a problem? Yes. Because a lot of us will go out and develop a product or a service without checking to see if there's even a market available. How many of us here, by show of hands, know somebody who started a business without knowing how big the market would be? Right? Because we work it backwards, right? I'm going to show you a tool right after lunch that's going to help you identify how big a market is, okay? As I go through this presentation, I'm going to give you tools, but tools that when you walk out of here, you'll be able to use to check. Is that good? Yes. All right. Now, the last thing is, if we don't know how to market, and we can't market effectively, are we going to get business? No. What is the biggest cost in business today besides the actual operations cost? Marketing, right? And a lot of us need to know how to market effectively. Do you agree with the statement? I don't care how good your product is. I don't care how good your product is. I don't care how great your service is. If nobody knows about it, you will not be successful. That's correct. I used to laugh at marketing people. Who has a marketing background here? I used to laugh at you guys. I really did. Because I said, what a weak degree. You know, that's not a real degree. That's like, you know, until I started understanding when you get into business that if you cannot market your product, you're not going to be successful. So to my marketing folks, I apologize. You were right. Marketing is a great degree. Can't always be right, right? So I'm going to break up the day in 2. We're going to talk about the top, what, who, how big, and how to effectively go after that market. Are you still with me? Yes. All right. Now, to make it a productive day, I need you to do 4 things. The first thing is to listen. Okay? Just listen carefully. Once in a while, I talk too fast. So just listen. It's going to be a lot of information. Take good notes. Okay? Now, when I say write this down, what do you do? Write it down. Ooh, you're quick. It's Miami. Okay. Now, when I ask you to participate, like if I ask you to raise your hand, will you please raise your hand? Because I need to know. And by the way, this might be the only exercise you get all day. All right? So work with me, all right? So to make sure you're with me, now I'm going to ask you if you get it. I want you to respond with got it, okay? I'm going to say get it, you say got it. Get it? Got it. Good. All right. We're moving. Can we have a little fun? Yeah. Just a little fun, all right? We're going to keep this moving fast. We're going to have a little fun today, all right? Are you guys okay with that? Yeah. All right. Now, my guarantee that by the end of the day, you should walk out of here with more than 4 or 5 ideas on how to create a 6-figure income. I'm going to give you so many ideas, so many strategies, that this is how I want you to view today's seminar. Is everything I'm going to talk about for you today? Yes. No. No. See, you went the wrong way on me. Is everything I'm going to present for you today here? No. It's like a buffet. So what I like you to do is when you look at the ideas, take those things that work for you. I want you to pluck out those ideas that work for you. Are we good with that? Yes. Get it? Yes. Good. All right. Background. Let me just step out of the presentation. For those of you who don't know me, Victor Gonzalez. This is my background. About 3 or 4 years ago, I decided to quit corporate America. How many feel my pain? It was one of those things that, you know, I just didn't want to be in corporate America anymore. I'd been there so many years, and I hit the 37-year mark, right? And see, now you can figure out how old I am. And when I hit the 37-year mark, it was one of those things you start thinking about all the things you've never done. How many have thought that way, right? You start really reflecting on, you know, it's not what I originally planned. And so at 37, I decided to quit. And it would have been easier for me if when I first started out, my family's originally from Puerto Rico. How many Boricuas in the house? A couple? There you go. And so from Chicago? Yeah. North Side. Anyway, so we were kind of poor. You know, it was food stamps, government cheese, and powdered milk near the Cabrini Green housing projects. Can you relate to me? Yeah, that's where it's from. So it was tough going to school, tough getting going. I have a bachelor's degree in electrical engineering, made it out of the hood. I have an MBA. And when I told my mother that I was going to quit my job, she didn't understand. But now, this is what she didn't understand. My base salary was $250,000. My average commission checks every year were about $300,000 or $400,000. And so when I told her, listen to this carefully, I said I'm going to quit to be a speaker. What do you think she said? That's exactly what she did, actually. She laughed, just like that. She laughed. She goes, so you're telling me that people are going to pay you to speak? I said, yeah. What do you think my friends did when I told them this? They laughed, right? Because they all do that, right? When you tell them what you want to do, they just laughed. And so I said, fine, and I'll get into how it all turned out later on. But my background is, and I know we have some business people here, if you know some of the telecom companies back then, I was a VP of international sales for a $3 billion company. Also, this is the company, it was a $420 million company. And then back in December, we just finished selling a $7 million company that I was CEO of. We sold it to MCOR, large company, $160 million company, publicly traded, and they were acquired. And so this is my background, and I give you this background because I like to look at things from both sides. I can look at it from a business side, and we can talk about return on investment and all those beautiful MBA terms. But I noticed that education has a problem. What do you think the problem with education is today? What's education's greatest problem today? Formal education. What is the formal education? If you get a formal education, what is the greatest problem? Experience?
Thinking they have to put something into people they don't already have.
Okay.
They don't teach you how to make money.
No! There it is! That's the one I'm looking for. See, she says they don't teach you how to make money. They'll teach you everything about money. You'll study Gaussian distribution curves on how money fluctuates. You'll study ROI, marginal, you know, everything you need to know. But if you take the average person who says, now go make money without working for a company, what do you think most people do? They can't do it. They can't do it. Schools, university condition us to what? Get a job. Isn't that what we get? Yeah. And so when I quit corporate America, the reality hits me. I got to figure this thing out. And so all these things I'm going to discuss with you are the things I figured out to get to a six-figure income on my own. Okay? Get it? Got it. Good. All right. All right, we're going to do an exercise. All right. Now, this is what I want you to do. We're all going to do this exercise. Each row is a group. In fact, this is a group. You're a group. Each row is a group. You, Jack, turn around. This is a group here. Just form groups. I need you to form groups. Find your own groups. Form a group. But don't move. Okay, okay, now this is what I want you to do. All right. Now, this was, by the way, each one, listen up. Don't get carried away. All right, first thing I want you to do, get a small piece of paper. Just a small piece. Just cut out a small piece of paper. Cut out a small piece of paper. Cut out a small piece of paper. Don't stare at me. Cut out a small piece of paper. All right. Everybody got it? Small paper. Now, this is what I want you to do. You see that? That's a paper clip. Listen to these instructions and listen carefully. Guys with the cool suits, you can do this too. I know you can. Okay? Now, this is what I'd like you to do. This is what I'd like you to do. I want you to list out ideas for how you can use a paper clip. Now listen to my instructions. I want you to write down good ideas of uses for a paper clip. Okay, each of you. I want everybody to do it. Now, I'm going to give you 30 seconds to do it. But again, good ideas on how to use a paper clip. Different ways. Ready, get set, go. Right. 30 seconds on the piece of paper. Good ideas on using a paper clip. Good ideas. That's what I want. Just good ideas. Give me good ideas, folks. Bert, no cheating. You can't help Jack. Okay? No cheating. You can't help each other out. You're on your own. I know independent thinking really kills you at this point. Okay? You have now 5 seconds. And I'd like you to stop. Stop. Everybody stop. Okay? Everybody stopped? Everybody stopped? Okay, good. Now, how many people came up with one good idea? Raise your hand. At least one good idea. Raise your hand. Okay, if you didn't raise your hand, you came up with 0? Okay, at least one good idea. Raise your hand. 2 good ideas. Keep your hands up. 3 good ideas. 4, 5, 6. Okay, 6. That's lousy. Very lousy. I'm so disappointed in you guys. So, okay. We're going to do it again, but we're not. This time we're going to ask for help. This time I want you to form groups. Everybody's got their group. Now, I want you to select one person in the group to do all the writing. One person in your group is going to do all the writing. Select one person. You guys turn around, work with these guys. Okay. You two guys, work here. Work here. One guy, wait up, don't start yet. Do not start. Shh. Okay, everybody quiet. You got to listen. You got to listen. Here we go. Everybody ready? Listen. Okay, ready? Here it comes. Now, this is what I want you to do. Pay attention. Pay attention. Pay attention. Ready? Now, this is what I want you to do. Okay, ready? Now, this is what I want you to do. Shh. Come on now. I'm trying to get something done here. Okay, this is what I want you to do. One person is going to scribe, right? One person is going to scribe, and then everybody's going to just solicit ideas. This is what I want you to do. I just want you to write. Don't think about all the ideas. Everything that they give you, you take in, okay? I don't care how wild the idea, how crazy the idea is. I just want you to, bam, just slap it on the paper, okay? At 30 seconds, get ready. By the way, everybody's got their groups? Okay, okay. The winner will get a high five from me. Ready, get set, go. Remember, just write them down. Just write every idea you got. All right. By the way, the group that wins gets a free book. The group that wins gets a free book. Go. 10 seconds. 10 seconds. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop. Come on, pens up. That's it. No more writing. No cheating. No cheating. I'm watching you. All right, now. Only the scribe, the person that actually wrote the stuff down, okay, raises their hand. 5, okay, keep your hands down. I know you're excited. You're excited. Boy, I got ideas, Victor, this time. Okay, how many had at least 5 ideas? 5 ideas. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. How many you had?
16.
16? Come here. Step up here. So you got 16. How many did you have? 15? Ooh, that was good. Okay, 16 ideas. I just got to check to make sure some are right. Okay, read some of those.
A necklace holding the hairpin to prevent nervous tick. Money clip to clean things. Okay. Key holder, keychain, reset computer as a toy to hold...
Whoa, what's this one?
Oh, sorry.
What's this one? Roach clip.
There's no roach.
All right. Thank you very much. Give her a hand. Give the team a hand. Right here? All right. I'll talk to you later. All right. Now, by the way, now, let me describe to you what happened. Let me describe to you what happened so you understand what physically happened to you and what I did to you. When we talk about brainstorming, coming up with ideas, when we were doing it the first time, did some of you say, well, that's not a good idea. That won't work. That's too radical. Did you have these? That's too simplistic, right? Remember the first time? That's a dumb idea. I need something better. That's not practical. Did you have some of these thoughts? No. What did I also do to you? I asked you to cut out a small piece of paper, didn't I? What did I do? You see how I restrict your thinking? And what did I keep saying? If you really listen to what I said, only come up with what? Good ideas. Right? What did I do to you? I know I squeezed you down to a small piece of paper and only good ideas that you became so judgmental of your own ideas you didn't write anything down.
That's true.
Right? It's exactly what I did to you. Then I flipped it. I said, okay, now get a big piece of paper, right? Anything goes, I said. Find one person to scribe, and you write down like mad. Do you see the difference? In other words, when you look at this, I asked you to form groups, right? We select a scribe. This is everything we did. Now, all ideas were acceptable, right? I said anything's acceptable. And all of a sudden you started writing down. Now, what made the difference? Collaboration. All right? Would you agree? Collaboration. What else made a difference? Competition. Because what did you want to do? You wanted to beat the other team, right? Come on, admit it. Come on, admit it. Come on, it's that capitalism in you, right? It's got to compete, right? And then the last one, it says, here's an incentive. I'll give you a free book. And then I saw all of a sudden, like, damn, you guys started writing faster. Do you see what happens when you're constricted? When you can't think. But who's our biggest enemy when it comes to our own idea? right? But by the way, when you look at people restricting your thinking, I want you to think about your jobs. Because what people do with your job is that they what? Put you in a cubicle, right? Very small cubicle. Only let you do so much, right? So all of a sudden, that's your space. Did you ever think about that? Your thoughts are restricted. That's why you can't be as creative as you want to be. Which is why a lot of people want to be what? Entrepreneurs, right? Because they want to do their own thing. They want to be creative. Don't let people restrict your thinking. Get it? Got it. Good. All right, setting up shop. What I'm going to do for the first half hour, 45 minutes, is I'm going to go over some business basics, okay? Not like Business 101 basic. Tools, okay? Because how many here... Well, no, you know, I'm going into it. It'll be for some of you and not for others, okay? Can I go? Yeah. All right, now, here, first of all, are you thinking about a product you want to sell? If you are, describe that product. Just write it down. Write it down. Take advantage of today. This is a great time to do this. You got this idea. By the way, this is going to help you later, because if you have an idea of what you think you want to do, I'm going to help you later so you can turn that into a six-figure income, okay? And you're going to have to refer back to this. You might want to write this down. First line, describe your product/service, okay? Got it? All right, the second thing I'd like you to do is describe your target market. You know, if you're selling to somebody, who is that somebody? Describe them. Now, don't say everybody. That's the only answer that's not acceptable, okay? Who do you sell to? Who do you want to sell that product to? By the way, the more you define that target market, the better, okay? Third, got a name for your business? Put it down. Because we're getting creative here. We're building our own business today. Okay? I want you to start thinking about your own business. And the last thing, this is my favorite. At the end it says desired revenue per year. How much money do you want to make a year? How much money do you want to make a year? Write that number down. A lot of people say, I want to make a lot of money. Is that a goal? No. Not a goal. By the way, here's what I did. I said by the time I'm 45, I'll share my goals with you. It's very simple. I want to work 2 days a month and make minimum of $20,000. Nice. Radical, huh? No. But fantastic. I'll describe later how I'm like more than halfway there. Okay? But I need you to start writing down a number and saying, where do I want to be? This is the number I want to make, and this is what would make me happy. Are all the numbers in this room going to be the same? No. We each have our own needs, correct? Yes. Absolutely. Okay. Now, a lot of people struggle with business plans. How many people are familiar with this tool right here? It's called Business Plan Pro. Raise your hand if you've seen it. A few people? I'm going to share. This was just worth coming. I talked to the VP. I bought this last year, and I bought the last 3 revisions, okay? I'll pass this around. You can see it, but please don't cop it. Now, what it is that it has now over 500 sample business plans. Now, I know what you're saying. They're templates, Victor. I can't use template. Oh, you're so wrong. What happens is that every year, this company, Palo Alto Software, holds a competition for the best business plans. And in those business plans, do you think they have real data on the market? Yes. Yes. They have real data on the market, and it's only, by the way, at a Best Buy for $99. $99. The majority of people are unaware. Less than 5% of the people in here actually know that this thing is actually out there and it works. Okay? By the way, I used this software about 2-3 years ago, and just to get about $100,000 in financing. Okay? They have over 500 business plans. I don't care what your topic is, what you want to sell, or what you're thinking of doing. There is a business plan in here for you. For me, I wound up using a combination of 2 business plans. And they have everything. Cash flow calculator, starting cost calculator, discounted cash flow, break-even point. By the way, if you don't understand any of these terms, doesn't matter. It's in the software. For every item, there's a description. It's an MBA in a box. It's an MBA in a box. By the way, they've also added, on the bottom part, the last 3, may not make sense to a few of you, but what they did is they added the conversion rate calculator, email return on investment calculator, and the pay-per-click calculator. So if now you're doing internet marketing, which we're going to talk about in the afternoon, you'll be able to understand your pay-per-click and conversion ratios. Those words and phrases may not mean anything, but I guarantee you that the majority of you have websites. Who has a website here? Because we're going to look at your website later. And I'll tell you how good your website is. In fact, I'll be probably able to guess how much traffic you get just by looking at it. And then by the end of the day, you'll be able to do the same. How's that sound? Good? Great. Okay, great. Now, is that helpful? It's a great business plan. The software is fantastic. It's not that hard to use. And by the way, it's all menu driven. So it walks you step by step. Please enter this, please enter this. Here's a small idea for some of you who may be thinking about it. One lady decided to buy the software and then turn around and sell it as a consulting service. And she does business plans for people. What does she charge for business plan? $5,000 to develop your business plan. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Damn, I didn't think about it that way, right? Because you're thinking in a box. I'm trying to get you out of the Skinnerian box. You see what I mean? Think about it. I mean, the tool's there. Why not use it? The fact that you're here and the other folks decided not to show up, good for you. Good for you. Take advantage of them. They're lazy. They're at home. They didn't want to come. Fine. Sell them the business plan for $5,000. Okay? That's what they get for not coming. Okay? Get it? Good. All right. All right, let's talk about collateral. Well, collateral is just basically brochures. I'm walking you through the process. You know, you get your business plan. Now we got to start. We got the name of the business. I know how much money I want to make. Let's start getting something on paper, right? Because I see people who hand me a Xerox copy of their business. Is that a good deal or bad deal? Bad deal. Can we agree that first impressions count? We can agree, right? First impressions count. So what do we want to do? Hand Xerox copies? No. So let's talk about just getting our first 1 or 2 page brochure going, okay? I use Vistaprint. How many of you use Vistaprint? Right? Besides the free business cards. Okay? Besides the free... By the way, did you understand their marketing strategy for that? For the free business card? You get it for like, I think you get 200 free business cards. They give it to you free, $250. And then what they do on the back is they put what? Vistaprint. You're marketing for them. You know? It's a great tool. Could you do that? Could you do that? Yeah. Find a way to use your material so other people can market you. Get it? Now, create a brochure. I always tell people when you're first starting out your business, don't print a lot of brochures. What I like about Vistaprint, you can do small quantities. If not, just go to Kinko's or Staples. Same thing, okay? But make sure that when you write your information, what are we looking for? Features or benefits? Benefits. Features or benefits? Because that's how we study, right? Benefits, right? It's all about benefits. Ladies, say yes. Yes. Ladies, for example, if a guy comes up to you and he says he has a job, is that a feature or a benefit? Feature. No! It's a benefit. He can afford to pay for my dinner and keep, maintain me to some extent. Right? Oh, by the way, it works the other way around. Right? Guys, if a lady has a job, is that a feature or benefit? Benefit, right? By the way, again, okay, ladies, I'm going to give you one more test. If the gentleman has a car, is that a feature or benefit? Feature or benefit? It's a benefit unless you want to ride public transportation. And I've seen your public transportation. Trust me, I don't care how bad the car is. It's better than that. All right? So we're going to create a brochure. We're going to create a brochure. And by the way, are you familiar with using Adobe? Okay. To create PDF files? Do you know what a PDF file is? Yes. What happened, for those who don't understand, you take a Word document. What was happening in the past is that people were stealing other people's information, copying and pasting it on their own. So a PDF is basically a way of protecting a document from being copied. Okay? PDF stands for Portable Digital File. The most popular is Adobe. You've probably seen them. If you need to put a tool in your kit, it's an Adobe program. Okay? You need an Adobe program. They have one in Best Buy between us. Can I tell you a secret now? See, because you're here. I got to share. If you go to Best Buy, they have something called the PDF converter. And you know what it does? It converts documents into PDFs, but the best part, it converts PDFs into Word documents. So now let me teach you a secret, but you got to use it wisely and don't steal. So let's say you don't have any creative juices going, right? You need to think about it. Because we all need help, right? We all need a tickler once in a while, right? This is what I want you to do next time. Type in a topic into a search engine. Type in a topic, right? Say marketing, right? And let's say you have a presentation the next day, you need a PowerPoint. Type in marketing space .ppt. You know, .ppt, which is what, a PowerPoint, right? Or .doc for a document. You know what's going to come back? Everything that's PowerPoint. I mean, it's PowerPoint doc, but most of them are what? In PDF format, right? And then you see some graphs you like to use or some sources you like to use to quote, right? So what you use the PDF converter to convert it back to a document, and then you just use it. But make sure you give credit to the sources, okay? The PDF converter is at Best Buy, costs $50, one of the best tools you can invest in. Get it? Yeah, now you know how to... Best Buy. You know, if it's a good store, it's a good store. By the way, we all know that the e-books and everything else is easy to mail, right? Like e-books, e-brochures, it's easier than mailing. Do a lot of us still send it out via email, regular mail? Who still sends out stuff? No. We know what happens. Circular file, right? And you can also post it on your website. Easy download. Okay? Building a website. How many of you, by show of hands, have spent thousands of dollars on a website? Just a few of you? Well, I've seen Bert's. I know it's a great website. So 4 or 5 people. How many have a website here? Their own website, not the company's website, their own website. Okay, what'd you spend on your website?
I got my supplier to do it.
Okay. Who else?
$3.95 a month.
$3.95 a month? Okay. That's it.
$100 a year.
$100 a year? They shouldn't cost anymore. 5 years ago, you couldn't get a website cheap. Now, I always recommend GoDaddy. You register for $8.95, you get hosting, I'll explain that later. You get web building software. It's less than $5 a month. Can you guys afford $5 a month? Yes. I have people tell me, that's a little bit much. If $5 is a little bit much, you got other bigger problems than the website, okay? You're with me on that? You got other issues right now. But if you're just starting out your business and you don't want to spend a lot of money, I did a seminar in New York on Monday, and this poor lady had spent $4,500 on her website. She says, I'm not getting traffic. I looked at the website, I go, I know why you're not getting traffic. And the sad thing is, you can tell it was her last $4,500, if you know what I mean. And I said, you know, all you really need to do is use something like this to really get going, to define your business. The first time you put up your website, is it going to be perfect? No. Right, you're going to make changes, right? The problem with having somebody else do it is what? You lose control, right? Because this is what happens. I mean, people get websites for 5 sources. You got the internet service provider, right? Bell South will do it for you, right? You saw that infomercial at 3 in the morning, right? Today, only today, if you get your website, you'll be a millionaire tomorrow. You saw it, right? So most people get it that way. Yellow Pages, you build it yourself, or you found some friend to build it for you. In most cases, what happens, if somebody else builds it for you, what do? They put it in your lap, slap you on the back, and what do they say? Adios. Good luck. Good luck, right? You don't know what to do with it. What's the average going rate to have your website edited per hour? 80? The lowest price you're ever going to find is $50. High side I heard is about 150. So that means every time you make a change, you've got to go get it edited. You got to pay that. Are you willing to do that? No. Do you guys like paying? No. So absolutely. So bring some control back by being able to do it yourself. This is a great place to start if you don't have a lot of money and you just want to start out with your website to get your business going. Get it? Got it. Good. And then, have you guys seen this software? Who's seen GoDaddy? You know how it works? Who's never registered a domain name? Show of hands. Nope. All right. Here, let's see if we can get this. I'm going to see if the wireless works. I kept this as a reminder. How many feel a little technophobic or a little afraid of technology? A couple? Okay, we all been there. I've been there. I've been there. This is what GoDaddy looks like. I just want you to look at it real quick. And then you come in here, you register your name, Victor's cue balls. I can't come up with something. So I got a billiard room. Want to play cue balls? And so it'll tell me on the top if it's available. You select it. It's available. You pay your $8.95. $8.95 is your annual fee, for $9 a year. You pay. You registered. 6 months or 9 months before it's about to expire, they'll remind you. You got 30 days. You got 60 days, then you got 30 days, so forth. $9 a year to register. That's how simple it is. The software, for those of you feeling technophobic, who raised their hands? They're a little technophobic. Today, if you can you cut and paste? Can you click and drag? You can design a software. You can design the web page. It's just that simple. It's not that tough. 5 years ago, you couldn't have said that. Get it? Got it. Good. All right. Like I said, I'm trying to give you resources. And by the way, they got a software in there. It's a web-based software. Do you know what I mean by that? Yeah. That you can't download it anymore. The software is always up there on the servers, which means that you can be anywhere in the world on anybody's computer, and you can still access your web page and actually make changes. Okay? Beautiful feature. All right? See what we got next. This is what I call digit droppers. You know what a digit dropper is? Something that drops your digits. Okay? In other words, you're losing money. Never use a free email account on your business card. It screams, it yells. I'm unprofessional. I'm a rookie. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Don't do business with me. Every time I see @BellSouth, @Yahoo, @Gmail, don't call me.
AOL.
Right? @AOL, so forth and so on. I mean, if you're going to promote a business, should you promote the business? I just told you that you can get a website for $8.95. Plus $9 to register. You also get a free email account. So why do I keep seeing @BellSouth, @Yahoo, and so forth? Do not do it. You want to lose respect, credibility right away? Present your business card with free email on it. Get it? Get it? Because I still get them, by the way. I still get the business card.
For instance, how would I do that?
When you go up on the software, it actually assigns you an account. So what it'll do is that whatever you're, like I had victorscueball.com, they can give me, let's say, info or victor@victorscueball.com. By the way, when you send somebody your email with your address, are you also promoting your business? Yes. Right? Because as soon as you see the back part, you can actually see that's what website it pertains to. Okay? And later on, if you want to see it, I can show you how you do that. But it's an automatic account they give it to you. Okay? All right. So what do we got so far? We should have brochures. We should have website. What else did we talk about? Website, brochure. PDFs, great. Now, checklist. Before you build your website, here's a small checklist. Okay, we already talked about defining what you're going to sell. Remember we talked about what's your company, what are you going to sell. I need you to go through those things. Don't contact anybody if you want somebody else to do this, okay? Now, get your content written, you know. Okay? And then again, how do you want your web page laid out? By the way, the best strategy I found to do this is that you take blank pieces of paper, right? So if I have what I did to design my website, I take a paper, 8.5 by 11, I put it on the floor. And that's my home page, right? And I write what I want on my home page, right? And then, almost like an organization chart, I said, these are my 4 or 5 sub-pages. And I write a title on each page. For this product A, product B, product C, product D. And then I write my information for product A, B, C, D. If I want sub-pages, what do? Create the next row, right? And when you do that, you can actually see how your website is laid out. Does that make sense? Because when you go to a web designer, if you don't want to do it, that's it. It's all laid out for you. So these are my pages. This is the content. Here it is. Get it?
Got it.
Good. Again, unless you're willing to pay $100 on average per hour. Select pictures you have on your site before you go to see them. Your contact information. Again, you want to find some type of P.O. box, am I right? Or you're going to have people showing up at your house. You know? So what does a mailbox cost around here these days? $200 a year? $200 a year? Okay, so we're talking about what? It's $20 a month on average. Should you invest $20 on average in your business? Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, by the way, what's that?
If you have a physical office.
If you have a physical office, even better. I just assume most folks don't. But if you have a physical office, absolutely. Why not? But again, I see people who still use their home addresses, and I'm like, always, get something professional. Get it? Got it. Good. All right. So anyway, I just told you, don't contact a web designer if you don't have all this together. So, again, I'm trying to get you going in business here for those of you who are thinking about doing it. So make sure you got your information, you got what you're going to sell, and again, don't do that. What is the most popular product sold on the internet today?
Information.
It is. It's pornography.
Yeah. By the way, just like back in the days in the Old West, the red districts still exist on the internet, and that is the most popular. Oh yeah. And so what we're going to do is, besides the 3-letter word XEX, what is the most popular product?
Information.
It is information. Information is the most sought after information today on the internet. People are downloading information like mad. The amount of money people are making just selling information is incredible. Now, everybody in here, can you sell information? Yes. For those of you who didn't answer, you had that little voice in the background going, I don't know what I could offer, Victor. Did you think it? Did you think it? Everybody in here has a discipline they're good at. I met a lady who all she offered was information on how to what? Cultivate tomatoes. Now, are there a lot of books written on tomatoes? But she said, I'm still selling my information. Is she making money selling her information on cultivating tomatoes? Yes. Yes. In the market, in business today, there are thousands. When I say thousands, there are thousands of target groups. Do you know what I mean? There's so many groups out there that want your information that, again, it's up to you to really find where that niche is. So start thinking about what information could I offer and make money at. Okay? So let's talk about product creation. Because a lot of us don't have product, right? We don't have anything to sell. I'm going to show you how to create and where to find product to sell. Okay? Now, this is my stuff. I publish my own book. This is what I do. I publish my own book. I use Word document. I'm going to give you the resource where I go. Elance.com. How many know what Elance.com is? Raise your hand. Raise your hand. Look around. Look around. The most powerful tool on the internet, and only 2 people know what it is. I'm about to save you a whole hell of a lot of money right now, but you don't know it yet. Elance.com, it's like an auction website where you can actually post your project. I don't care what your project is, you post your project. People from all over the world will bid on your product to develop it for you. So I used it several ways. One, I needed a graphic designer to design my cover. I put it up there. By the way, I compared to what you get on the street, so to speak. Trust me, you want to use Elance every time. You can get a website for less than $200 developed for you. For you. Why? Because you got people in Singapore, Malaysia, all these places who are developing the websites. And they'll show you what it looks like. And the way Elance works is fascinating. You never talk to the person, but all the bids are controlled. In other words, you post your product, right? Your project. People bid on them. You can see all the bids coming in. But here's the best part. You can see all the bids coming in, but you can also see what projects they've worked on in the past, what ratings they've been given, and their portfolio that's online. So now, when somebody bids, and only you can see the bid, you just go through and look at what people have given them. They got average star rankings, average price. You can look at all the projects they've done. You can even look at how much money they've made this year. All year to date. So everything from the beginning of the year to date, you can see how much money they made. What does that tell you? They're busy or not. If they're busy, if the number's high, you might want to look at them. But again, they have a star rating. They have their portfolio. So you can look at the material, see if it's your style. And then you can contact them, but everything goes through Elance. And the way it works is you set up how it works. You open an account. You give them your credit card. They charge you like $2 or $3. I don't remember the number. Don't hold me to it. But that's just to open the account. What they do is they hold the credit card. Once they hold the credit card, what you can then do is say, if you accept the project, I can pay 10% to get the guy started, or the gal, right? And then on the first draft, I'll pay another 40, 50%. Upon final approval, I'll pay the last 50%. Okay? And that's just taken or charged to your credit card automatically. See how it works? Yeah. Any project you have right now, you want somebody to look at your marketing material, edit it. I had somebody edit my books. I put them up on Elance, boom. The first book I wrote, which is, you can't see it, it's called The Corporate Inferno. If your job is hell, you want to read The Inferno. So, my first novel, it's on business ethics. And I found somebody via the internet to actually edit it. It's about 200-some pages. $2,500 to edit, which is a going rate. It's a decent rate for a good editor. Now, I found Elance like a year and a half later. I said, okay, now I'm going to take my book, the second one, The Logic of Success, and have it edited. $375.
Same quality?
Then, no, this one was better. It was better, no exaggeration, it was better than the person who charged me $2,500. Then, I wanted to translate The Logic of Success into La Lógica del Éxito, right? So, what I then did, you like that, huh? Ah, so you got it, good. Now, what I did then is I posted it, say I want it translated in Spanish. The winning bid, after I reviewed their credentials background, was in Argentina. Because they had the best neutral Spanish. You know, at least those translators did. $700 to translate the whole book. The whole book. Cover, new design for the cover. When you see it, you'll laugh. I lost my head. It was like $350, I think, for the cover design. And they'll put your ISBN number. It's perfect. For a lot of you, I don't care if you're in a small business or in a corporation, this is the most underused resource. Now you know, right? So if you want somebody to do, by the way, you want somebody to do your PowerPoint presentation for you because you don't know how to do it? Just want to give them the text? Bam, you blast it on there. Now, how many of you really like the idea of Elance? You like it? All right, you each give me $1 then. Yeah. By the way, in all seriousness, it's a fantastic resource. You have to visit it. Yes?
These self-published books?
All these are self-published books. Ask me why. Because I can't get published. But by the way, did you know that on average, a published author in 2004, I believe, only sold on average about 500 books? And by the time distribution, agents, and everybody kicked in, they got about $1. And that's $500 that they probably got. I do more than that sometimes in one event now. You know, because I sell about 500 to 800 books now myself. So in other words, it's like anything else. In business, nobody's going to promote you like you. You got it. Am I right? Because I've learned in this business, after I quit corporate America, before corporate America, I had a lot of friends. When you quit, man, you're in the desert. They don't return your phone calls. They don't want to talk to you. Why? Because you can't help them anymore. I'm sorry. And I learned this in Chicago, and I always tell people this. I tell my friends this. Nobody is going to hook you up. Nobody's going to help you. And by the way, it isn't because people are mean. They just don't have the time, and they don't have your passion. Am I right? Right. But what do a lot of us do? We always try to depend on our friends. Well, Bob said he'd do it tomorrow for me. I'll just wait another week, right? And next thing you know, it never gets done. Am I right? You with me? Yeah. All right, good. Now, that's what I use, instantpublisher.com. Now, I know a few of you folks have used it. How many have heard it? Instant Publisher? Raise your hand. A few again. My friends don't count. So again, you got less than 5 people who know something like Instant Publisher. By the way, this is not print on demand, okay, where they keep a big percentage. This is fantastic. I've used it for the last 3 or 4 years. Here's the great thing. You remember in the past where if you ordered a book, you had to buy like 1,000? Right? Because that was the minimum, right? Instant Publisher, 25. Minimum. $25, 25 books minimum you have to purchase. They got a price calculator in there, and it costs you about, if you only order 25, and it depends on the number of pages, it's going to cost you about $5. Can you afford to publish your own material now? Can you afford to publish your own material now? Right. So, again, I just gave you 2 great resources. One is I showed you where to edit all your stuff, where to get websites cheap, where to get your brochures developed, and all that's Elance, right? Yep. I showed you how to get a website for less than, what, $8 a month? Okay? And I also just showed you how to publish your own material. That's cheap. Now, at this point, at this very moment, there should be no obstacle in your mind saying, I can't do something. Okay? Yes, ma'am.
Does it also work for brochures or only for books?
Minimum pages, I believe, is 20. Okay? Minimum pages. Good question. Does it only work for books? Can you do brochures? Minimum pages is, I believe, only 20. Okay? I would not use it for a brochure. I think I use another resource called, that's not it, USA Printing Online or something. You have to ask me later, but there's other places. I mean, you can go online and get them anywhere, you know. By the way, are you familiar with this link? Bowker link. You know that on the back of the book you got an ISBN number? You ever see those ISBN numbers? Okay, that's where you get it. So if you ever want to publish your own material, by the way, is it just for books? No. Nope. For your CDs, your audio, your DVDs, whatever it is, you go to Bowker link. I forgot what the fee is, and you do pay an annual fee, but they give you your ISBN numbers. Put the graphics on your book. Now you can sell them on Amazon. Okay? Now, small warning, because they don't tell you this. If you use instant publishers, or how many of you used disc makers before? I know a lot of people use disc. No? Do you know what disc makers is? No. Wow. You guys don't have resources. That's your problem. The discmakers.com is a website that allows you to, if you want to publish like DVDs and stuff like that, you can upload your graphics, send them your material, they print them up and make them look beautiful. And they also give you ISBN numbers, just like Instant Publisher. The problem with using somebody else's ISBN number is that when somebody does a search, they show up as the publisher, and your name may not show up at all, okay? So footnote for those who are thinking of publishing something, get your own ISBN number, okay? Don't use somebody else's. Okay? Just go to Bowker link and you register, okay? And it'll sign you 10 minimum. Yes, sir.
Does that imply that you're keeping the rights to your books, property rights?
Yeah, I mean, it's yours.
It's your ownership.
It's yours. I mean, the thing is, you're printing it under their banner, almost like if they were a publisher, but your name doesn't show up as the publisher.
Right.
So, yeah.
But the issue is having ownership over your material.
No, you always have ownership over your own material. That's correct. You always. The question was, who has ownership? You always have ownership of the material. So there's a lot of people in here. How many have kind of want to always write a book? Just here, show of hands. Just write a small book. By the way, I was in New York. I was talking to a guy. He had this whole idea on philosophy, on what he wanted to do. You know, and he told me this whole, ladies, just hold on a second. He had this whole thing for about he had only 25 pages, and it was a philosophy on why hell existed, right? And I wanted to get out of the taxi, because I'm like, when somebody starts talking like that, you want to get out, right? So we're stuck in traffic, and I'm like, oh, hit me with it, you know? So he starts talking to me. He's a philosophy major. He goes into this whole thing, and he's talking, and all of a sudden, by the end of the cab ride, I'm like, well, damn, maybe you're right, you know, the whole thing. Right? So I said to him, I said, why don't you publish your book? Why don't you publish it? He says, well, it's only 25 pages. What do you think my response was? Go for it. Is there a universal rule here I don't know about that says it has to be more than 25 pages? Is there? No. I mean, when we buy something, what do we want? Information, right? And what you're going to learn in life when you do publishing, what do people want more? Your ideas or your information? Your ideas or your information? No. Nobody cares about your ideas. They want your information, right? You're here because you want information. I can tell you about the Republican Party, you know, the Democrats, whatever. You go, so what? You're just one out of many, e pluribus unum, with an opinion, right? But if I say, here's how to make 6 figures, you're like, whoa, wait a minute, got my attention, right? Because one thing's ideas, another thing is information. People don't want your ideas, they want your information. You got to understand that. So when we provide something, what do we provide? Content, right? When somebody buys a product off your product sheet, they're reading what? The product, features, and benefits. They don't want your philosophy on life. They want the product. Okay? So it's always about information. You had a question?
Yeah, on the discmaker.com, on average, how much is each CD that they print for you?
He says, how much does it cost, you know, on discmakers.com, you know, as far as printing CDs? Okay, write these 2 words down. These 2 words will make you a lot of money. Write them down. Trust me. It's going to make you a lot of money. Lawyers use it to make you a lot of money. You ready? It depends. Am I right? Yeah. Right? You know, how much does it cost to litigate the case? How much does it cost to take this to court? So, you got your answer? Yeah. It depends. There you go. See? That's how you cop out of something. Right? Yep. Question.
How do you register the ISB and how many years is that good for?
Annual. But I think to renew it is like only $25 annually. Okay, so you pay the big chunk up front, which is like $150 or something. You own those, and you got to keep them renewed, so it's $25. The question was, how often do you have to pay for the ISBN once you purchase them? And I think the renewal rate is $25 a year. Okay? Is this helpful so far? Yes. All right. Video. Use video to promote yourself. I don't know what your medium is. Mine is speaking. What do you think people want to see? My mug. Because don't we get a lot of brochures from people? Information. And what do? Just show me the real stuff, right? I was in an office one time where some material arrived for a speaker, and I saw somebody just chuck everything away and keep the video. Said that's the only thing that matters. So, I don't know how you're going to market, but, you know, make sure you have videos. Videos are a great product. I did a session with a gentleman in Missouri, and he said, Victor, I'd like to make 6 figures. I said, what do you do? He says, and I think if you got my email, you know what I'm talking about. He says he does lampshades. He does stained glass lampshades, right? And I said, let me design a 6-figure plan for you to make 6 figures doing lampshade. You guys believe I can do that?
Yes.
Then I showed a teacher how to make 6 figures. Do you think I can do that?
Yes.
Yeah, good. Oh, you're with me. The others are looking at me like, I don't know how to answer this, Vic. That's cool. Just hold that thought. Yeah. You scolded us a couple of times, Vic. I'm not answering you. But so what I said to him, I said, look, I said, you have this stained glass lampshade. I said, why don't you create videos? Because I'm sure people don't know how to cut glass right. They don't know how to solder. I said, why can't you create your own instructional videos and sell those online? Is that an easy idea? Yeah. Absolutely. With digital technology today, you video something, what do? You can resell that. So is that another product for you to resell? Yeah. Now you're probably going, well, what can I do? See, that little voice is talking again to you. Tell them to shut up. Okay, it's that little voice saying, I can't do that, Victor, I'm not good enough. You're lying to yourselves. You can. You just have to come up with an idea, whatever your product is, whatever your market is, and be able to sell that. Will people buy it? Yes. Videos, seminar, class instruction. By the way, here's a test for you. I'm recording this. What do you think I'm going to do with it? Sell it. Why do you think I got you here for free? Why do you think I invited you here for free? What do you think? No! Listen carefully why. This is the one reason. Careful, ready? Listen. Listen. Because I love you. I care about you. I just love you. I said, okay, so you don't believe that either, huh? Okay, fine. All right. You're not believing that. Anyway, resell the product. Get it? All right, cool. Finding a product to sell. Okay, so at this point you're saying to me, Victor, I'm liking you. You're entertaining. You got some information, got some resources, but I'm not creative. I don't know where to find a product. Who's thinking that way? Oh, you're brave. You don't want to raise your hand like, oh, hell no. You're like, oh, hell no, I'm not raising my hand. All right, let me show you something that I think is really cool. You want to see it?
Yes.
No, you ain't asking right. Yes or no? Yes. That's what I like. All right, resell product strategy. If you don't have a product, have you heard of drop shipping? Who knows about drop shipping? Oh, look at that. Experts in the house. About 7 or 8 people, right? Have you guys implemented drop shipping? Does it work? Yeah. Does it make money for you? Yeah. If you do it right, am I right? Well, wait. What is it? Wait. I'm glad you're eager for the information. That tells me you want to be here. All right, let me explain drop shipping because there are several types of drop shipping. Now I'm going to show you the resources. There's blind versus regular. Okay? Now, let me explain it to you because you're not going to get it. All right. What's your name? Inya? Okay, let's say Inya makes these great bottles of water, right? This is her product. She manufactures it. Okay? Does anybody here manufacture a product or make a craft or something? Okay, 1, 2, great. Pay attention to this then. So she makes a product, right? I decide that I'm going to put up a website or I'm going to sell it directly, right? So we contract, you say, if I sell something, just pay me, you give me wholesale price, right? Can you give me wholesale price? By the way, when you work for drop shipping, there's only 2 questions you ask. One is, do you offer wholesale pricing? And you might want to write this down because it'll make sense later. Do you offer wholesale pricing? And the second one is, do you drop ship, right? In other words, Inya, can you sell this to me at a discount so I can sell it on the market and be competitive? Yes. Okay, 50% off, is that cool? Yeah. Okay, we're both making money still, right? And you're only going to pay me when I sell something, right? I put this on my website, somebody buys it, right? My product, okay? Somebody buys my product, what happens? I take their money, I get the $100, and I got to pay you $50, right? I make $50. That's drop shipping. Blind versus regular. This will all make sense in a little bit. I'll tie it up for you. Just be patient. There's 2 types of drop shipping. You can find, because you're probably saying, well, where do I find companies that have product? I'm going to show you. Okay, so all of a sudden, blind versus regular drop shipping. Ready for this? Because this, if you ever wanted to start your own business right away and start making money because you don't have products, this is it. This is it. So pay attention. So there's 2 types of drop shipping, blind versus regular. Let's say that this is a glass bottle, okay, that she's selling, glass bottle of water. Here's Inya. Here's me, Victor. I'm the seller, right? Now, if I sell the product and it arrives to, what's the name? Paulette. To Paulette, and it has my name on it, they don't know about Inya, it has my name, that's called blind drop shipping, right? Because they never see who's really supplying it, right? Yeah. Regular is if it shows up to your door and it has Angel's information, not mine. Now, careful how you answer this question. What's better, blind or regular? Blind. Which one? It depends. I'm out of here. Screw it. Look. Okay, I'm lazy. I'm on the golf course. I don't want to work, right? So let's say that the product ships, right? And it arrives to Paulette in 1,000 pieces. Is blind better or regular better? Regular, right? Because I want her to go back to her. So it depends, okay? Get it? Good. Finding a supplier. Let me show you this. By the way, this is worth its weight. This is a website called Worldwide Brands. And if you go to worldwidebrands.com, you'll find it. For $69.95. Listen to this, because this is gold. For $69.95, he has a web-based database. Not a book, because as soon as you print up a book on drop shipping, what happens? It's outdated, right? So he has and maintains a database, but they also go through the database to make sure they're all legitimate drop shippers that offer quality products. For $69, you have access to this. And so if you ever need a product, there it is. All you got to do is go up there, look at the products. You ever see those websites where they sell a bunch of products and they try to recruit you to help them sell those products? What they've done is that they've gone to this company, gotten all the products, and then they go out and say, hey, do you want to sell the product on my website? See, you can cut out the middleman and go direct. I don't care if you want to find jewelry boxes you want to resell. You know, you got, I don't know, vases you want to resell. Whatever you can come up with, it's in there. People who have products. Do you agree that there's a lot of people who manufacture stuff that can't get it to market? Okay? So there's a lot of companies in this database who have product. So if you're thinking of developing a website, how much does a website cost to make now? Right. So if you're thinking of putting your own website and want to resell a product, you can do that. Just combining these two resources. Get it? Okay. Just trying to add some digits to you. Okay. And can we talk about marketing now? Now that we got my marketing brethren in the house? Okay. Let's talk about marketing. See what the schedule looks like. I think we're good. Mike, we good on time still? All right. Let's talk about branding. All right. I'm about to save you some more money. Do you want to save some more money? Watch this. Because when you see this stuff, you're going to be slapping yourself in the head saying, you're going to be doing this a lot. Why did I pay so much? Okay? Now, can you use Elance to do your branding? Can you use Elance to do your branding? Yes. Absolutely. I'm going to give you another resource. I wanted to brand my company. I was going to start a sales training program. And so I contacted this company. Let me just take that back. And the company was willing to charge me to design a logo for me. And guess what? They were willing to do as many iterations as it took to satisfy me. Okay? There was no limit. No limit. I could keep coming back. Nope, 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 nope. Right? So they sent me the first 5. The sales training program I'm putting together is called the Sales Asylum. Okay? Where you have to be committed to get in. Yeah, some of you got it. Thank you. Thank you. I thought it was... See, that's marketing. Yeah. Okay, so, now, so they sent me the first batch and I said, no, not feeling it. Send me the second batch. No, 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 no. Not feeling that either. Send me the third batch. This is an actual example. I'm not making this up. Third batch. Nope, 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 nope. This is like 48 hours to turn this around, right? And I'm like, take your time. Come up with something good, right? Fourth. Nope. Looked like it was getting worse. I was like, I wrote back, look, you're going the wrong way on this one. I need more creativity. On the 5th one, I finally found one I like. It doesn't come up well there, but I chose that one right there. It's got a little gate and everything, the Sales Asylum. Now, as many iterations as I what? Wanted. Right? So, how much do you think you have to pay?
It depends.
500.
Remember, how much?
$75.
No. Listen, write this down. It depends. Here's the minimum. You want to know what the minimum is? In there, they got a slot that says $20 minimum. And then if you feel guilty, like, damn it, I really abused these people, you might want to add a few bucks. You can add a few bucks. $20, as many iterations as you want.
For a logo?
Yeah, look at you. Whoa, baby. You want it? You want the resource? Nah. I left it out. I left it out on purpose. No, here it is. It's a great resource, by the way. MyLogoDesigns.com.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Ready? So just go there, and a minimum of 20 bucks. They put it in there like, come on, at least 20 bucks, folks. Okay? But you go through as many iterations as you want. All right. All right, now, but just by show of hands, clap. Am I giving you what you want? Is this cool? All right. Cool. All right. Now, by the way, because I aims to please, and I'm not promoting Best Buy, I swear, I just do my shopping there. I found this software there. I forgot how much it was. It's like, I think it was like 30 bucks, 25, 30 bucks. Logo design. It was actually pretty good, actually. I looked at a lot of logo designs inside, and it was actually pretty good. So, take a look. But it could be. It could be. You got to add some. But the thing is, you still have to add some creativity. You know, it's just like it doesn't happen. But if you want to take control over your stuff, now here's a test. Don't fail me. Don't fail me.
It depends.
Can I turn around? Can I turn around? See, Nick, there's a point where you wear out. It depends. That was it. All right? Now, see, moderation is key. Moderation is always key. So now, could I turn around and sell my logo services? Yes. Could I charge people for it? Yes. Are you going to charge them 20 bucks? No. No! There you go. You're Don't say it depends. Only I can say it depends now. Yeah. All right, let's talk marketing. Yes, ma'am.
How do you know if the logo is...
Okay. She goes, how do you know if the logo is good?
Let me
Okay.
Okay. I know that if I'm proud of my logo, I'm going to be able to...
Sure.
That's my logo. But is there like certain characteristics that we should look for? Like it's not too busy, colors?
I think she asked me, how do you know if your logo is good? You know, and it's really tough to decide whether a logo is good or not, right? I'm into like simplicity. Are you into simplicity?
Yeah.
I like to look at something and see it. And if I can see it and understand it from a distance, it's even better for me.
Yeah.
And those are my rules. And it's got to be, you know, and what is the color for marketing? Red, right? There's 3 things you always use in marketing, right? The color red. Second thing is what?
White.
Babies. Right? And what's the third object?
Dogs.
Dogs. Animal, right? Something fluffy and cute, right? So if you can find a mix between a red doggy baby, you got it. You got the ultimate thing. It's a tough question. It's a tough one to answer. But I would just, simplicity is key.
What about selling product online?
We're going to talk about, she asked me about, what about selling product online? That's all the second half. When we talk about, by the way, the second half, I'm going to show you what the average website gets for traffic. And then, listen to this, I'm going to guarantee you. How many people here have websites? Now keep your hands up. How many people who raise their hand are getting lousy traffic? Keep them up. Okay? Okay? Yeah. Most folks are going, I don't get any traffic, Victor, I'm not raising my hand. Right? The majority of websites don't get traffic. The majority of websites don't get traffic. At the end of the day, by the time I'm done with you today, I'm going to show you how to get on the first page and maybe even be in the first position. And maybe be the only one there. You know, you don't believe me, do you? When I show you, you're going to be like, damn, he's right. Okay? All right, now, all right. Mistake number 1 in marketing. These are simple, these are just basic strategies for folks who've never taken a marketing course and said, Victor, what is it all about? All right. How many times, mistake number 1, when you try to control all the buyers? We have people who try to control all the buyers. You ever talk to people and says, well, who do you sell to? What's their response? Everybody, right? Can you sell to everybody? No. It's like when you get on the internet. Who do you want to sell to? Everybody. Whoever comes to my site wants to buy. Everybody that comes to your site, are they a buyer? No. Everybody comes to your site, are they a buyer? No. Yeah! Yes, they're a buyer. Here's the problem. They're not your buyer, right? Because everybody's a buyer, right? Everybody's a potential buyer. But what do we want at our site? Our buyer. You get the difference? So we want to make people come to us who want to buy our product. So when you see these commercials that says I can get 1 million, visitors to your site, it doesn't matter. I want 1 million qualified buyers. Big difference. Get it? Got it. Good. All right, so we have to identify who our buyers are. And when I talk to people who want to talk to me about their business, what they're doing, I ask them, who's your buyer? 9 times out of 10, they can't define it. And I think that's sad. That's where you're missing out. If you can't tell me who your buyers are, how could I help you? Who are your buyers? What do they look like? In other words, I'm selling to the female population, 30 and above, with income at this level, so forth and so on. Right? Or I'm selling to stay-at-home dads, blah, 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 whatever the market may be. You got to know who your buyers are. Now, people want to market like this. Would you agree that we should market like this? Because we got to market at the center of the bullseye, right? We have to, yeah, it's all about focus. You got to market at the center of the bullseye. If you don't market at the center of the bullseye, you're just going to be spending your money. And a lot of us here, if not everybody, unless we're Coca-Cola, we don't have a big budget, am I right? So we want to use our money, what? Effectively. So we're not going to market to everybody. We're going to define who we market to. But here's the paradigm shift that most of you have to go through. You're used to the horizontal. I tell you to go vertical on the market, but you're saying, well, Victor, maybe there's not enough business there. Do you think that way? Yeah. Right? If I limit myself, there's not enough business. But that's wrong. It's when you limit yourself that you can focus and expand that vertical niche. Because this is why this is vertical. You go vertical, and vertical can be very deep, and there can be a lot of buyers in that market, and we'll talk about that later, okay? Now, mistake number 2, lack of diversification, okay? Now, by the way, did I tell you guys I was married for 20 years now? Can you give me a hand, please? 4 different women. But I like to call that diversification of love. So I got a couple of women give me the evil eye right now, right? One wife, 20 years, okay? One wife, 20 years. All right, when we talk about diversification, within our product niche, we want to offer more than one service, right? Yeah. When I do speaking, I sell books, I do seminars, but all within what? Yeah. that one market niche. And that's what a lot of people don't understand, that you got to stay within one market niche. And again, when you try to cross-sell into 2 different market niches, are you going to be successful? No. You're going to have a hard time doing it. You know, and also, that's where your identity comes in, right? And sometimes, have you ever gone to a website or visited a company's, brochure or something, and you don't know what the hell they sell? Because there's so much stuff on there. Have you had that problem? It's like, oh, what do you do? I mean, if I got to explain to you, what do you do? Did I fail? And Mark, absolutely, right? And I see a lot of people who just say, they plaster stuff up. Would you agree that a confused mind will never make a decision? Right? Salesman 101. A confused mind will never make a buying decision. And so if you're selling everything, if I come up to you and I said, what do you sell? What do you do? Please don't go into this, well, I'm really good at this, and if you need that, I can do that too. And we really, we don't specialize in that, but that's something that, if we had to do it, we could. I just go nuts, like my head wants to explode like scanners, bam! And so, you ever go to, and I'm sure Mike knows this, you go to these networking meetings, right? And you just want the 20-second pitch. Can you give me the 20-second pitch? Not your story, not your manifesto on life. I just want the pitch. Okay? I want you to package it up, encapsulate it in such a sweet message that I don't have to guess. And if you can't do that, don't go out networking. You're wasting your time. Because when you walk away, you want people to know what? What you do. What you do. You agree? Yes. All right, good. All right, last thing. Multiple niches. And again, for me, within the speaking business, there's multiple niches. My background is sales. So do you think I sell a sales program? Yes. Of course, because it's within my speaking niche. Now, I got motivational speaking, I do all these things. Under my sales training program, I have all these products. Okay? And so I combine multiple products, but I still stay within my what? My niche. Everything, if you're sales, motivation, you talk to me. I got it for you. Okay? And that's how I want you to start thinking. What do you offer that people can identify you with? Because the only way to position yourself, people say, well, Victor, how do you get people to pay you money? How do you get people to talk to you? The first thing you do is you position yourself as what? As an expert. In other words, please don't tell me you know a lot, because that's just not going to cut it with me. Have we talked to people? They don't have a website, they don't have a business card, but yet they want to help me. You can't even help yourself. Do you know what I mean? And I'm being hard because we come across people who want to give us advice. And every time we listen to other people, what happens? We get more confused and we get more trouble, right? Here, I'll give you a test. I'm going to test you. Be careful. Another test. You walk into a shoe store. You walk into a shoe store. Salesperson approaches you and says, can I help you? What do you say or what do you do?
Just looking.
Just looking? Or?
Yes.
Just yes? Yes? Yeah? No! No, it doesn't depend. Look, listen. You're going to say that at the wrong time. I'm telling you. You have to use it wisely. It depends. I should have put like a disclaimer and a caution. Please only use when appropriate. Okay? Look, you walk into a shoe store. Person approaches you and says, can I help you? No, you don't say, of course. This is what our problem is. This is what you do. You look at the person, and then you look at their shoes. Because if they're wearing some Buster Brown peanut cracker jack shoes, why would I want their advice? Am I right? Listen to me, am I right? Absolutely. But what do? We listen to people who don't know, right? And there's 3 types. There's 3 types, right? We know what these 3 types are, right? People who don't know. People who know they don't know. And the 3rd type is people who pretend to know and know they don't know. Right? And these are the 3 levels of people that we have, right? You know what I'm talking about. You've met them. And who, by the way, our biggest culprits are family members. Right? Here's what happens to you. Let me tell you what happens to you when I'm not around. You wake up at 2 or 3 in the morning and you have this brilliant idea, right? You're like, whoa, got it, right? And you got this great idea. You're all excited. Your spouse kicks you out of bed. I can't sleep. Get out here. Go write the ideas. So you go to your office or whatever table. You start writing your ideas down, right? And all of a sudden, you feel like you're a genius, right? You have that Tom Cruise moment. When he wrote that manifesto. Some of you got it. Yeah. There you go. He has that moment. You're like, whoa, let me write this thing. And then what happens? Morning comes and you're like waiting for somebody to get up so you can tell them, right? Or to call. And so what do? You wait for somebody, a friend, maybe a family member, and you go tell them your idea, right? You tell them your idea, and let me tell you how they knife your dream. Let me tell you how they knife it. Because, by the way, people who kill your dreams don't just go, poof. No, no, no. They have these, this is how they do it. You present the idea and they go, really? Okay. I mean, it's a good idea. I've never heard anybody do that. I guess it could work. Yeah. And with every statement, you're like, right? And then by the end of the conversation, you walk away going, man, that was a real stupid idea. And what do? Nothing. And that's why you're here today, right? Because you're like, I had these ideas, Victor, I didn't know how to execute. Don't listen to stupid people, okay? That's my whole thing. If somebody's going to give you advice, I always look at people who give me advice. And I will only listen to people who, A, make more money than me, look like they have better ideas than me, because I've seen their stuff. If you don't have those things, don't talk to me. You know, and you may say, well, that's kind of hard. Don't you have to be that way? Because, you know, if you let too many people talk to you, you wind up talking yourself out of things. And I don't know about you, but I only like to listen to people who've done something. Because when they've done it, I know they've suffered, right? Is success easy? No. It's a process, right? It's just a process. So when we go through this whole process, what we have to keep in mind is we want people, we always talk about mentors and stuff like that. Look, I have virtual mentors. You want to know my secret? You know what virtual mentors are? It's like the big rabbit that doesn't exist. You know? It's imaginary. And so what I do is I find 5 or 6 people who I really like. I find their websites and their material. I don't copy it, but I mimic like a dog, right? Because if they're doing something right, do I want to mimic what they're doing? Right. And again, that's what I do. I don't need a mentor. I just find the sites, find the people that I think are my virtual mentors. They don't know they're my mentors. One day I'll come up and hug them and say, hey, thank you. They won't know. But again, find somebody who's doing something you like and then just try to emulate that. And then, but again, should you steal stuff from people? No. The only way you're going to be successful is what? When it's your material, okay? So you have to go through you and make it yours. Get it? Got it. All right. By the way, selling dissimilar products, all I mean by that is don't sell different things. A confused mind will never make a decision. All right? Building a list. Now, so let me see. We got website, we got marketing. What else we got going here? You got elance, we got logos, we got brochures ready. Are we almost there with our business plan? All right, now, permission marketing. Let's talk about this one, because I think this is one of the most undervalued things we have today. What's the most popular word on the internet? Free. What's the most popular word on the internet? Free. Free. We like free, don't we? Yeah. I tell them I'm doing a free seminar, guess who shows up? Right? Because it's free. Now, if I charge you for it, you'd be like, well, I don't know, it might not be worth it. Now you're probably saying, I should have paid the guy, I feel so bad. And if you're thinking that way and you feel guilty and guilt is driving you right now, you can pay me still. I'll accept your money. Okay? So free, right? Free is the most popular word, right? So, this is what I learned about Costco. Can I tell you what I learned at Costco? Because this happened to you. This happens to you. If you've been to Costco, you're walking, minding your own business. You got a list of things you want to get, right? Everything in bulk, right? And so you're walking, and in the aisles, what do you see? You see the person with the white apron. You see the person with the white apron? Yeah. Yeah. What do? They shove a piece of turkey in your mouth. Right? What did they do to you? What did they just do to you? They just marketed it to you, right? Because all of a sudden you stopped, and you start chewing on that damn turkey. Not bad. Not bad. What was the brand name of that turkey? And you asked for the brand name, right? You know what I'm talking about, right? Because you've done it. Right? You start chewing, and then you're walking through there, and you're like, you still got the aftertaste of the damn turkey in your mouth, right? And next thing you know, you might buy the turkey, right? Because that's what people do. They give away free samples to what? Hook you. 4 principles of marketing, right? AIDA. Okay, where are my marketing folks at, so I don't have to define it? AIDA. What's the A stand for? What's the A stand for? Okay, let me walk through them. AIDA, 4 principles of marketing. I want to grab your attention, generate some interest, create a desire, right? And then move you to what? Action, right? Shove a piece of turkey in your mouth, got your attention. Start chewing on it, got you interested. Ah, you really liking it. Oh, desire's building. Uh-oh, take it to the front. You bought action. I'm in. Is that what it is? Yes. So what we have to do is find ways of giving away free samples, right? On the internet or in business, what do? We give away things. You've been to a trade show. How many have been to a trade show? Yeah. What do? Give away free samples, right? So what do you do on the internet? Same thing. You give away free samples, right?
What's the AITN?
Attention, the interest, generate attention, get their attention, generate the interest, get the desire going, and the last one is action. Okay? Now, for those of you today, who has a website here? List again. Are you building automatically now an email list? Keep your hand up. 1, 2, 3. If you're not building an email list today, you're losing money and you don't know it. Do not build a website without a way of capturing emails. Okay? And the way to capture emails, there's two. One's called opt-in, one's called double opt-in. Opt-in is when you go in and you register for the site, right? And then they give you some free information. What do typically people give away on the website? An article, a book, or something, right? Right? And then what do? In exchange, you give name and your email, right? The double opt-in is when they actually send you an email, and you have to literally confirm that you're okay with that. In other words, somebody else didn't type your name in, right? That's all it means. You should be building your email list. I don't care who your company is. You should be building your email list. The company that I was CEO of, our email list was in the, it was big. And every time we blasted out an email, because what's it going to cost me to send out an email? Almost free, right? Just a boop, and whatever the promotion is. So make sure you have it, you're building the email list. Is it spam? No, because they gave you their what? Their name, their email. So it's not spam. Just make sure there's the unsubscribe button at the bottom. I'm telling you this because I really want you to, if you're going to build something, this is the cheapest way to market. If you have to send out a postcard, would you say that's expensive?
Yes.
Here, let me give you an example, concrete example. I was going to talk about it later, I'll bring it up now. On one of my lists, I have over 2,000 subscribers. 2,000, okay? Now let's walk both models through our head so you really get it. If I have to send out a postcard to market a new product to somebody, let's walk through the cost. I have to get somebody to design it, right? Yeah. Whatever the promotion. What number do you want to put on that? A couple of $100? Yeah. A couple of $100? Keep total for me, okay? $200. $200. Okay? Let's say $200. $200. Now, I also have to have 2,000 printed, right?
Yeah.
How much is that going to cost?
Like $100.
No, it's not going to cover. 2,000 postcards. Say $500. Let's round up. I'm rounding up. So we're up to $800, right? Now, do I have to buy the postage for it? Yes. Add another $500 because I don't have time, right? Now, by the way, you don't have a mailing list. You got to buy that too, don't you? Wow. So now for 2,000, let's just say another 500. Let's be generous. There's about $2,000 to do a marketing, right? What's direct marketing response today? What's the response rate? Percentage. Percentage.
It depends.
Percent.
1%.
It is less than 1%.
Wow.
It is less than 1%. So it is less than 1%. So you just went through all that, and by the time you get it printed up, it's like 4 or 5 weeks later, right? And mailed out. So you just spend time, effort, and money, and you just got a response rate of less than 1%. I think the percentage rate is 0.3 actually. Wow. It is low. So now let's flip this over. Let's go onto the internet. I got 2,000 subscribers. How much is it going to cost to actually do the promotion? Actually write up the promotion? Nothing, because I'm going to do it, right? It's my list, right?
Yes.
It could just be a simple text. How many get my email letter? Right? It's a simple text, right? Just simple text, right? It's no big deal. And on that text, that's it. Now, I have my list already, so I don't have to pay for that, right? So what happens when I click? How much am I paying? Almost nothing, right? Now, let's say that I'm selling a product. Somebody has a product. Bert, great motivational speaker, has a great product he wants me to sell. He says, Victor, hey, send this out to your list. They're going to love they're going to love my CD. Woohoo! I'll give you $20. Product costs $40. He's going to give me $20. Okay? I blast it out. Now, write this down. The response rate for an opt-in list is between 5 and 8%. 5 and 8%. Now, let's go with the lower rate. I got 2,000 subscribers, right? 2,000 subscribers, only 5% actually buy. How many bought? 100. 100, right? 2,000 times 5%. Are you with me? 100 people. $20 per product is mine, per buy. How much money did I make? 100 people bought $2,000. How much did it cost me? Now, you're probably saying, well, Victor, why is it 5 to 8%? You answer the question.
Permission marketing.
Yes, you're right, more.
People are buying on you.
They're qualified. They've pre-qualified themselves. They say they like your stuff. That's why they signed up. They want some of your stuff. Within that market, they want some of your stuff. That's how you market. The best way to market is to find, write it down, people who are predisposed to buy from you. Find people who are predisposed to buy from you. The thing is, we try to do rebel marketing. Sell to everybody. Force them. Imagine walking in the mall, somebody dragging you out from the hallway into their store and saying, buy this, you need this. Is that going to work? Well, that's what you do when you're spamming. When people are driving traffic to your website that shouldn't be there, that's what you're doing. So only sell to people in your market. And if you're going to sell somebody else's product, should that product be within the same market niche? Yeah. Absolutely, because you know what that list is about. Get it? Is this helping? Yeah. All right. You're going to feel so enlightened when you leave here. Now, I want to show you something. Here's my website. Most of you have seen it. Some of you have seen it, maybe. I have 22 websites. I have 22 websites. I'm glad you asked why. Because that's in the second half. When you see what I make on the second half, you're going to understand it. And it's not to keep you here. When you see the strategies behind it, it'll make sense. Okay? So now you can click here and I'll give you my free book. Look at that. Am I generous or what? Look at that. I don't know if you can see in the back. You see in the back? Look at that. Tell me I'm not generous. I'm giving you my free book. Sign up for my newsletter below and get, blah, blah, blah free. I know what you're thinking. What a nice guy. Right? Is that what you're thinking? But then you scroll to the bottom. There it is. That's what I want. I want your name and I want your email. It's the only way. By the way, don't try to fool it and give it the wrong email because it's only going to send it to your email. So side note, if you're going to use opt-in, write this down. If you're going to use an opt-in list, make sure it has something called an autoresponder. An autoresponder. Because what that does, as soon as you sign up, it's going to send you what? The link to your site. Now, again, I believe in quality of life, i.e., I'm very lazy. Okay? And if I'm somewhere, I don't want to go back and have to type the email to send you the information. So I make sure that the system has an autoresponder. Later on today, I'm going to show you a website that has a lot of stuff that you can use in one place. And it's the tool I use, and I think it's a fantastic tool. Get it? Yes. Good. All right. And by the way, on there, if you go to my site, and you'll see I have videos. There's the wrong one. So again, if I'm a speaker, what am I just selling on this site? I'm a speaker. This is it. I'm a speaker. You should book me. I'm a speaker. You should book me. I don't have carburetors up there. I don't have golf clubs. That's it. I just have me. Every website should have just one singular purpose. So later on, I'll show you why I have 22 and what they're for. Okay? You guys with me? Yeah. All right. Let's get out of here.
I got a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Where do you get someone or information on all the back office doing a mass mailing and everything?
I'm going to cover all that. She was asking me, where's the information on doing all what they call the back office stuff? When somebody says back office stuff, what they literally mean is all the stuff that runs the system. Okay? So in an office, it would be your accounting systems, your ERP system, your CRM system, blah, blah, blah. Okay? So I'm going to talk about the tools. I'm not going to let you walk out here without tools that you guys can use to say, here's how I run my business. I'm going to show you how I do everything, okay? So once you see how I do it, whether you choose to do it, I've done my job. I'm going to show you everything. And by the way, this was painful. Putting all this stuff together, not the presentations, getting to this point, over the last 3 or 4 years has been painful because nobody wanted to help me. And you had to do it yourself. And you had to figure it out yourself. And the only time people say they're going to help you, they're going to what? Charge you, right? And they charge you a lot of money. In the majority of cases, is it usually worth it? No. Not for me, it wasn't. So I just went out and started reading, finding everything, all the information. So I built everything myself. So when I say I build it from the ground up, I mean I literally build all my websites, program everything. So the stuff I'm going to show you is going to be helpful, okay? Here's some resources. These are, by the way, these are 2 of millions probably out there. So it's not like I'm promoting them. These are 2 I'm familiar with. Vertical Response is on the bottom.com. That one is per email sent. So if you send 20,000 emails or 10,000 emails, they'll charge you per email. I'm not too crazy about that model. The other one is Constant Contact, and they charge you per size of the list. Okay, they have different sections that you can break them down. This is one way to do it if you're not very savvy with the internet, okay? By the way, both of these companies, what they do is they do newsletters. You ever see get newsletters, those pretty newsletters from people? Just scroll all the way to the bottom. You can see what companies they're using. Okay? Next time, just scroll to the bottom. You can see what companies they're using. These are just two. I think I used Constant Contact when I first started. Okay? And it's a very good piece of software. Again, they charge you per size of the list. But if you want to get something up and going, and so what you do is you go to this website. It'll allow you to put a little box on your website to say sign up here. Okay? It automatically then takes the email and puts it in a database. Okay? And from that database, you can send out, what? Newsletters, right? They have templates, pre-made templates, and they're colorful templates that you can just blast out and send out the information. Okay? Okay? Both of them have them. They're both similar. Okay? They're just resources. So what you'll do is you'll sign up, they'll give you a code, you put it on your website, you'll be able to start collecting emails. That's it. That's simple. Anybody I see some confused faces. Raise your hand if you're a little confused. Okay, so all it is, you sign up. Let's say I want to start collecting emails on my website. Okay, I need a mechanism to do that. And if I wanted to send out newsletters, I need a mechanism to do that. When you sign up, what will happen is they'll give you a code that you put on your website, and it'll create that little box, the email box and the name box. Once somebody enters that information in, it goes into a database for their company, and you can always use that list. Then you log in and use the actual database and send. What's that? You can't do that on your own. Why would you? Do you want to get up in 3 in the morning and take somebody's email? No, you want it done automatically, right? 24 hours a day, you want. The question was, can I do the email thing on my own? I said, no. You want to be collecting emails 24 hours. These are no. An auto. Well, you ever buy? She asked me, is this an autoresponder? You ever buy something on the internet? What do you get after you buy something in your mailbox? A confirmation. That's an autoresponder. That's just one form of an autoresponder. That's all it is. Okay. This is just for newsletters. Let me just put it out. Just for newsletters and collecting email addresses. Get it? Got it. Okay, yep.
So this doesn't include an option for with other responders. This comes without autoresponder.
This has an autoresponder. You can program. Yeah, you can program an autoresponder. But like I said, later on I'll give you better tools. This is a nice standalone tool. I'm going to show you an integrated shopping cart that has all the tools in them, and I only use one that has everything. Yes?
Is this, if you put in like your target market, will it collect the emails for your target market? Or
No, no, this is just...
email, just like a general...
She says, does this collect your target market email? No. Whoever visits your website has an option of signing up for your newsletter. That's all it is.
Okay.
It's just collecting emails. So again, if you're not collecting emails and you have an internet, you're losing money. Okay, now every month, that example I gave you with that $2,000, could I do that once every month? Could I do that every month? Yes, absolutely. Why not? Just find a different product to sell. Yes?
The question is, how well do these things work if you have multiple newsletters?
How well do they work if you have multiple newsletters? I don't know. Because I use a different system and it works real well. Because on this one, I think you can actually segment, you know, for example, if you have multiple websites, you can actually create different databases for each one. Am I right, Jack?
You're right.
Jack says I'm right. And so each email will fall into its own little database. And then wherever you want to send out the email, just use that one. Yes?
Are they also collecting these for themselves, or is this a privacy policy that they apply to you?
I didn't get the first.
You want to build a list for yourself. Okay?
Right.
Business defined. Okay.
This is only people who come through the internet and sign up. I don't think you can use it as a database. It's not what it's there for. Right. I got a better tool for you. You don't want to use this. I'll talk about a better tool. You don't want to use this for a database. Not like that. Okay? All right, let me keep moving. And again, we're going to answer questions in the back. All right? And I just put collecting an email list. It is invaluable. Okay, so please don't build something without doing it. Okay, so building your email list, great asset. We talked about that. Use the list at your discretion. By the way, don't overuse your list once you have it. I think you guys shouldn't get more than one email from me a month. For those who get my email, about once a month. Yeah, I don't beat you guys down. I just once a month I send out something. Because you fall into what's called list exhaustion. You overuse the list. When you overuse the list, what happens? People start opting out. Okay? Yes, Mike?
The other speaker's not coming to the one, so you're not pressing time.
Okay. Good enough. Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it. All right. Anyway, grow your list doing joint ventures. Do you know what that is? How you work with somebody to create a list? Let's say you don't have a list. A lot of people here are going to start out and says, Victor, I don't have a list. So let's say I contact Mike Owen from, Jimmy Network, said, Mike, I know you have a list of 2,000. Can you blast this out on my behalf and do a commission split or some type of agreement? That's called a joint venture, okay? So use other people's lists. Get to know people who have lists. And by the way, they become very important after a while because it's the cheapest way to do it. I'm going to teach you how to do this later. You know what an affiliate program is? An affiliate program and how they work on the internet? Raise your hand if you know what it is. Okay. Oh, good. Well, after lunch, when we talk about the internet, I'm going to describe what an affiliate program is and how you can monetize your website. In other words, put links on there that's going to generate you some money. Okay? Just hold that thought. All right. And this, just listen to this. Never give anybody access to your database. Can we agree on that? You know, don't borrow your database. People, if you want to let people use it, you do the sending out. Okay? You do the sending out. I got a lot of stuff to get through. Like I said, all right, we talked about, let's say you don't have a list. I'm going to give you some quick resources. Write these down. These are fantastic resources. Okay? Finding a list. Getting the right list. The first one, let's say you wanted media contacts. You got a large corporation, you want media contacts. How many have heard of Gebby Inc.? Gebby. The Gebby list. Have you heard of the Gebby list? No. All right. If you want media contacts, well, all the radio stations, all the television stations, who to contact, and all these major media outlets, go look at that list. It's fantastic if you want that. The other one is called corporate buyers. If you're looking for corporate buyers, go to douglaspublications.com. I love this one. It's fantastic because if you want to find meeting planners, whatever it may be, this is where you're going to find them. Okay, so that's douglaspublications with an S.com. And the last one is a very general. It's business buyers and consumers. I've used this one. It's pretty good. It'll actually let you look at the list. This one is called hippodirect.com. Hippodirect.com. Now, there's a lot of them out there, like Go Leads, Just Sell, and a bunch of them. I'm just throwing these up there because I know they're very big lists. So if you want to do a mailing to some group, some market niche, this is what you should do. Okay? And by the way, I downloaded a quick sample here. Okay, Gebby Inc. Just write Gebby Inc. is the works. Second one is Douglas Publications. And the third one is hippodirect.com. Hippodirect. And let me just show you what this looks like. And again, if you're marketing to businesses or just consumers in general, the Hippodirect is actually a pretty good one as well. By the way, certain things you should ask about a list before you buy. Can I use it? In other words, can I download it myself? Okay? Most people will only let you use it. Do you know what I mean by that? They'll let you use it, but you can't. In other words, it has to go through them. I believe Gebby and the other one, Douglas Publications, you can actually get the CD-ROM and actually import that information into your database, okay? So this is what it looks like. For example, this was for finding certified meeting professionals from the convention industry, 8,000 professionals. So if you're targeting meeting professionals, bam, there's your list. Okay? Now, at this point, if you're not going, dang, then you're not appreciating the information.
What site is it?
This is hippodirect.com. Okay? Hippodirect. There you go. Now you got mailing list. Now, let's add it up. You got website, you got brochures, you got newsletters, you got business cards. You see how you're getting everything? Okay? I'm building you up slowly here. Now, trade show tips. By the way, trade shows are fantastic for new leads. How many of us have been to trade shows again? Right? Pick up great leads. You meet the people you want to talk to. Now, there's a great resource called TSNN. How many know of TSNN? 1, 2 people. Again, you can go in there and find by city, by state, or by region, all the trade shows that are going on in your market niche. In your market niche. So let's say you want to find out what seminars are coming to Miami that have to do with the apparel industry for the next 3 months. You go to tsnn.com, it'll spit it right at you. Okay? How's that? All right? By the way, booth displays, I was an idiot. I bought a new booth when I first started doing trade shows. Okay? I spent over $5,000 on a booth. Let's not do that. Okay? And if you feel bad for me, again, I'm making a collection. Where do you get them? Go to eBay. Buy the booth display, what I call the general booth display, the actual physical booth display, and then buy the graphics from an actual designer, locally, okay? You get it? Because what will happen is I spend $5,000 on a 8.5 by 10 booth, and then the graphics on top were another $1,000 or something, and then I discovered that eBay actually sells these booths. A lot of them are just reused or used, but they're still in excellent condition. Don't spend a lot of money. If you've never thought of going to a trade show to collect leads, you're missing out. You are missing out. So, you know, when you look at selling, you know, everything from funeral urns to, you know, vases, you know, try going to some of these trade shows. And by the way, they're not that expensive. Every time I go to a trade show, I said, if I can get 1 or 2 leads, do I know what that value is to me? Let me ask you a question. If you know what you're selling and you know what your product offering is, you know how many leads you got to get, right? So you can figure out easy. By the way, how do you guys manage your contact list? I use Act. How many use Act? Act, right? Or something similar. Goldmine is another one, right? Do you guys know what I'm talking about? No? What it is, if you don't know, you need to know. This is Act. Guess where I got this? No, Staples. But what it is, it's expensive. I believe it's like $300. Not that much. How much is it? $195. Okay, $195. By the way, do not buy these on eBay. Okay? What they do is they resell them with the different licenses, but it's only one license with different code keys, okay? It's illegal. Spend the $200. One of the best investments you'll make. What it is that you'll be able to just file all your database into this. What I also like about it, it reminds me of my schedule. How many of us forget about our schedule, right? If you got a lot of things going on, you can also blast out your email. So you can actually, if you have the right software, let's say you're using Constant Contact, I don't know if that'll do it, but I know mine does. I can actually import all my emails into here, and so I can manage all my blasts from here. So I can do word processing, send out emails, send out newsletter. How many of us look Outlook? Outlook, you know, to match. This ties into Outlook. If you have a PDA that has like Outlook, you can also download your information here. This is like the heart of the business, at least in my book.
So Outlook is not good enough?
No, Outlook by itself is okay, but I'm saying this does much more because it also has sales tools in the back. You can track sales, you can do sales funnels. By sales funnels, I mean, you know, non-qualified all the way to bought. You can also put notes. It really just do a lot of things. Yes? Was there a question? Oh, I thought you said something. I'm sorry. But anyway, dedupe? Can I don't know. I don't know. But, by the way, have you ever seen it? Act? No. Let me just show it to you. Okay, let me just show it. I'm not going to show you how to use it. I can't. How long does it take to learn? It depends. You see how you use it? It's all timing. You got to use it at the right time. Okay, this is Act. But by the way, if you're running a business and you're not managing your contacts or your schedules right, invest in this software. You can't go wrong. You can't go wrong. This is like a no-brainer for me. And so I use this to manage my schedules and everything. Goes with me everywhere. Takes forever to load up, though. But I'm just going to show you the front screen so you get an idea of what it is. Okay? No, you'll see a few of them. You know how you can create multiple databases? So I created a smaller one for you. So, yeah. So, hold on, Eric. Like I said, I just want to show it real quickly, and then we're off. But so when people see it, but right now it becomes very difficult, especially if your schedule starts getting busy. By the way, this is perfect for meetings. You know how you set a schedule up a lot of meetings? And so this one only has 41. It's just, you got all your contacts. You got all the information. You see that? On the bottom, though, this is what I like. You see on the bottom, because you can actually get into opportunities. It tells you when there's a new update. It's annoying. But you can actually see down here, for some reason I'm not able to scroll. Well, anyway, down here you get history, activities, opportunities. In other words, I talked to this person one time. I think it's a $300 order. And then you can do a follow-up. By the way, you can program this with alarms. You know, so you can say, okay, remind me in about a week that I need to call this person. So if you do that often enough, every day you turn it on, you got this whole to-do list of all these alarms you got going off. And so it really helps you manage. Here's some of my calendar. Let's say for August, or, you know, this is my schedule. So, I was in Jackson, then I did 3 seminars in Miami last week, was White Plains. That's a 6-figure seminar here. And then I'll be in Los Angeles doing 2 more seminars, blah, 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 blah. So I look at that and I print that out, and that's my schedule. So when people call me up, I immediately go to that.
Question.
Yes, ma'am.
Is there an automated way, what's the latest automated way to get information from a business card into this database?
You can use card scan. Yeah, I've never used it. People who use it like it, especially, and some don't. You know, it's a matter of opinion. It depends. But yeah, use card scan. Where can you get card scan? Yeah, you're right. Okay. All right, so finding a list. We talked about these three already. All right, trade shows. All I wanted to mention is this. Make sure you manage everything through ACT. And again, if you're doing these trade shows, get a lot of lists. I cannot tell you how much business I generated by doing trade shows. You know, and so once you figure...
from Best Buy?
No commission. So now, by the way, when you do these trade shows, don't print up a lot of material. Have you ever done your first trade show and you overprinted too much material? Have you been there? For those of you that don't print up too much material because things will change. Have samples in your booth. By the way, for me as a speaker, what do I have in my booth? What do I have in my, besides books, what do I have? Video, right? Because that's all people want to see. So what I did is I set up 3 computers, right? With my videos running, and they had headphones that they can just step up and go and listen. Okay? Okay, got it? If it's a service, then you got to find something to describe the service. I mean, it's a tough one. It's a good question.
Or you can do hands-on, like while you're there.
You can do hands-on, like polish nails or whatever you want to be. Yeah.
Last week I ran a PowerPoint presentation just on a screen on the side.
There you go. Yep, run your PowerPoint presentation. You can run it off your computer. Some people put a little screen in the middle and just shoot it right in there. Is that what you did? Like in the middle or off the side? Just on the computer? So, you can do a lot of things. Hey, just throwing it out there. By the way, let's talk about wasted material. And I just threw this in there. How many times have you heard something like this? Victor, we'd like to get a copy of your materials, but with your name, of course. You know, just send us your material and we review and get back to you. How many of us have heard that? You know? And then you go through all that trouble. This is why you need a website. Because I think the greatest line you can say is, go to my website. And I love that line. Go to my website. And so, you know, the problem is the cost to mail, the time, mail delay, and so forth. And so what I did is I put the videos on my website. And I tell people, just go to my website. Can you mail us a DVD? No. Go to my website, because you're going to book me. Tell me if I'm wrong, but the majority of people who ask for information are always the least likely to book you or do business with you. Am I right? If they really want you, go to my website. You know, and again, it just saves money. All right. By the way, if you have an electronic brochure, remember the Adobe program? Let me email it to you right now, and then we can go over the material. Because what happens when you wait a week? The opportunity's gone, right? And sometimes they can't even remember why they asked for it. So again, if you have a website, log on. I tell people, why don't you log on right now? I'll tell you which video to look at that might interest you. And it works. You don't spend money, you're just there. The immediacy principle is that it's now. If you're really serious about booking me, log on now. And if they say, I don't have a web, you know, I'm not in front of a web page right now or whatever, internet access, all right, I'm going to send you the email, look at that, and then call me back. The majority of people, you know, they're not going to look at it. And that's it. Serious buyers, they don't mind. Someone in the past says, well, Victor, you got to have all this press kit material and so forth. I don't know. If I'm a big corporation, yeah, you have to. But when you're a one-man shop, an entrepreneur with a small business, and you got a small budget, am I right? A lot of that stuff goes into the garbage if you don't use it. Design a postcard. I'm just going to show you what I used. And then it's a little case study. I mailed my website. And what I did was I used a software called 6bytes.com. See it? 6 bytes? That software right there. 6 bytes. Let me tell you what I love about that software if you have a website. What it does, it basically captures your whole website, and then you can put it on a DVD or a CD. So when you send it to somebody, they can actually surf your whole website as if they were connected. So if somebody's on the plane and wants to look at your website and videos, they can just go. It's a way of packaging it up. I believe the price for that software is like $69. Don't hold me to it, okay? But it's a great one. So what I did is I had these printed because I wanted to try it to see if marketing with a CD worked. And so I had, you know, silver, black print with the little, you know, clear plastic, and then I mailed them by hand. I had a list already. I mailed them. The total cost for mailing, list, and everything was $2,400. Now, as a speaker, when I was starting out, I was charging $2,500. So what am I saying to myself? All I got to do is get what? One. To break even, right? So once I get one to break even, I'm good. That mailing alone, it's over $50,000. I stopped counting. Just on that mailing. I still get calls today. People still have that CD, DVD, and say, I want to book you. Except now, I don't charge $2,500. That did change. So, I want to talk to you about this because I think here's another thing we get into this. I discovered this about speaking. And in certain markets in speaking, all you have to do is have a sad story and you can be a speaker. Right? Got a sad story? You can be a speaker. And so what I found early on that if you do not create a barrier to entry, do you know what I mean by a barrier to entry? You create a market where it's harder for people to compete against you. For example, I realized that just being a speaker with a sad story wasn't going to cut it. Because everybody has a sad story in this room, right? Yes. You can find something. So people said, so the thing is, it was hard to differentiate myself. But then I said, well, let me just go to the corporate market, use my engineering degree and my MBA and my sales background. Do you think a lot of people are going to join me at that level? No. And so what happened, I got less competition, and what do you think happened to my price? It just went up. So my question to you is, don't market where everybody else is marketing. Find a way to differentiate yourself and then create a barrier to entry. In marketing, it simply means create a way that people just can't jump right into your market. For example, Microsoft is a perfect example of a company who has a high barrier to entry, right? If you wanted to compete with Microsoft tomorrow, would it be easy? No, right? They're in the market, deep penetration, blah, blah, blah. I mean, you talk to Linux and some of these other guys will probably argue with you, but there's a high barrier to entry. In other words, find a market where there's not a lot of people doing what you do or have your expertise, okay? And that's the market you market to. So what I started doing is I started going after the high-tech market, right? Because I had an engineering degree, MBA, and I sold. So instead of just selling to the general market, I said, you know what? I'm going to sell into the high-tech market. Do high-tech companies have bigger budgets? Yeah, they do. And so I created a website specifically just for that market. Do you see what I mean? Here, here. Since we're showing and telling, I want you to get it. Because you saw the Victor Gonzalez site. That's kind of like the flagship site, it's just a general site. But if you come in here, and you should see hightechselling.com. How's that for a name? And so, you know, right away, it's just for the high-tech market. This one, boom. All I want to talk to is same mug. You know what I mean? Same guy, same colors. But I'm addressing what? Look at this, market focus. Look who I'm talking to. Telcos, IP, service provider, manufacturer, cable TV. You see how I differentiated myself with this website? And say he's different. So now, I'm sorry for the screen, but you're not missing much. For some reason I got this thing stretched out just so the presentation fit. You see what I mean? So it's really the same site, but it's really aimed, and these training programs I have are aimed specifically at the high-tech market. Again, I create a high barrier to entry so not a lot of people can compete with me. So I've just gone beyond the sad story into a market where few people can actually compete. Get it?
And that's a separate site from your other speaking websites.
All those. Yeah, like I said, there's 22 sites, so that's one. Okay. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. All right, so you got that? Good. Yeah. All right, next. Remember we talked about cold calling? I'm going to show you. How many people hate cold calling? Right? Scary, isn't it, right? So in cold calling, you got to memorize the script, answers to objections, you know, define objective for the call, so forth and so on. So I'm going to show you a website, and I really want you to look at this website, because if you're here and you're trying to find more business, I'm about to show you where you find these manufacturers, right? Because if you want to go after companies, I'm going to show you how you find these manufacturers. I'm going to show you how to get a contact database for free. Okay? So no more of this, Victor, I don't have a list, I don't know who to contact or call. Are you thinking that? You have the product service, but you're thinking, I don't know who to call. I'll solve that for you right now. How many of you have seen or heard Thomas Net? Raise your hand. Okay, just look around. Only like 5 people. So again, this is the registry that people pay almost, I think, $700 to register. These are suppliers and manufacturers pay $700 to get on this list. What does that tell you? They want business. They got money and they want business. So if they're serious, they're dang serious. So what you do is, let's say that, give me something that you market to. Automation equipment? And what was yours?
Supplements.
Supplements. So let's go with, let me try automation. You got some more specific, certain market?
Manufacturing SCADA systems.
Okay, I'll just put SCADA systems, okay? So, and let's see what we get for SCADA systems. So let's say that this is the company. It's got 141 companies registered in there, right? For SCADA systems, right?
SCADA, second software.
Software? Okay, so 26 back. Let me back up. But let's say you sold a service. Could you also talk to these others? Probably.
That's my target niche.
And so there it is. So all of a sudden, look at this. You have the email, you got the company profile, and you got their website. Damn it, people, stop paying for the contact list. I'm giving it to you for free. Yeah, I should have done. You guys can't get excited about that. It's like, Roger, why did you pull a rabbit out of my hat? I mean, come on. I mean, I just gave you a database for free where you can find anything in your market niche to get the contacts. And you're looking at me like, a golf applause. That's nice, Victor. Very nice, Victor. Very nice, very nice. As my mother would say, so mal agradecidos. Okay.
No, we are in shock.
Huh? You shy? Again, I know. Oh, I'm sorry. You're still going through the damn. Oh, I understand then. This is free. So next time you're looking for something, as they say in Chicago, did a brother hook you up or what? I told you it'd be worth your time. I wouldn't waste your time today. So once you see that, you know who your market is. That's it. That's your calling list. Now, here's a test. Don't mess this up. Don't mess this up. You see that information there? Where am I going to store this information? Act! You put it in your database. Because as you're finding companies you like, you put it in your database, right? And you start building your database. And you run your company through Act. Every week, every month, you send them something, whatever it may be. You get it? People go out and they go to Go Leads, this leads, that leads, whose leads, and they pay all this money. I gave you some options that you can go if you want the list right now. But here, I mean, when you talk about cold calling, it's got a description right there. All you got to do is memorize the script. And then just start calling. Get it?
Got it.
That should have been worth the price of admission right there. Because it's free. Okay. No love. What was yours? I'm sorry. What was yours?
Supplements.
Supplements. Let's just find out who supplements. I'm only going to do one. That's it. And then we'll just move on. Let's find out what type of supplements they have. So just, by the way, and again, did you notice that you can go by state on the left? So you got dietary, 155, nutritional, labeling. You know, there's a lot of people in here who sell a diet program, right? Who exercise, you know, and they want their own, what? Pills to offer, brand, right? So what you can do, you contact this company. Do you know that they'll private label for you? Do you know what private label is? In other words, they don't care who you're selling it to. They will put your name on the bottle and you sell it like your product. Wow. And all of a sudden, do you look more professional? Yes. Absolutely. That's what they're doing. You know, so again, any of these companies you contact, find, by the way, the key term there, if you want that, is you got to ask them, do you private label? That's the key phrase. Do you private label? And if they private label, you're good. Okay?
Right there, coming down.
Is it? Contract manufacturing. There it is, right there. Way to go, Jack. Contract manufacturing. That's usually what it means. There's another phrase for it. Contract manufacturing. In other words, they will contract with you to manufacture something for them. Okay? Isn't that awesome? Yeah. That's awesome. By the way, for some of you who are saying, Victor, I want to import international stuff, can I present something to you? There's something called Alibaba.com. Alibaba.com is awesome from this perspective. Is that it's almost the same. Look at this. You got suppliers and buyers, right? You got your categories, right? Yeah. Suppliers and buyers, plenty. But let's say that you want to import something from China. Wheelchairs, you know, strollers, whatever it may be. Then what you do is you go in here, let's say apparel fashion. You click on that. Now, look at me, don't look at the screen, because I want you to see this. How many of you are thinking, Victor, I'm not creative, I don't have any good ideas? This is what you do. Get a cup of coffee, and then you stare at that little screen coming across. You see it? See that? Right there? You stare at this until something finally hits, okay? So if you're sitting there going, I'm not creative, Victor, I don't understand, then you just stare at the damn thing, right? It comes up, look, hey, 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 finger socks, hey, hey. By the way, what did I say earlier? There are thousands of niche markets out there, am I right? So now you got a website. Why don't you sell your products on the website? Get it? Got it. Good. By the way, oh, can I show you something really cool about this? Another cool thing about this? It shows you the tire, right? Now pay attention, because this is the cool part that Thomas Net doesn't have. You ready? Watch, let me go over here. It allows you, let's say you like that, and you want to put it on your website, right? You want to resell that? You go click, click, add it to your basket. You're not buying it. You go click, click, add everything that you like to your basket, and when you hit contact now, you can actually blast out an email to everybody. So for example, what are the 2 questions we're going to ask?
Do you private label?
No. The 2 questions, this is a drop ship, but what did I say? The first one is, do you sell wholesale?
Wholesale.
And then, do you drop ship, right?
Yes.
You just send 1 email to everybody that you like and see who responds. Okay. All right. You know, I'm saying I drove down all the way from Atlanta to give you this free information. All right. By the way, you want to be successful at cold calling? It's all about understanding the other person on the other end, right? Yeah. But our problem is we try to be too slick sometimes, right? We try to be too clever. Now, one thing I've always believed, when I do cold calling, I only want one thing. What do you think I want? Yes, the appointment. That's the only thing I want. I don't want to send you literature. I don't want to say hi to your family. I don't care. I just want the appointment. That's all I care about. And when you do cold calling, don't let people say, well, send me your literature. I said, I can do that, and I'll send that via email, but how does Tuesday look because da-da-da, right? We want the appointment. That's what we want. And so I always say when you're doing cold calling, remember, there's a difference between sympathy and empathy, right? Sympathy and empathy. You know what the difference is? Okay, I'm going to give you an example. I'm going to give you a graphical example that you'll never forget. Ready? Okay. You're walking on a deck of the boat, some cruise ship, right? And you see somebody throwing up over the banister, right? And you say, damn, that must hurt. Okay? That's sympathy. Now, if you went over there and threw up with them, that's empathy. There you go. You'll never forget that again. All right. By the way, let me tell you why most people fail. You can't read this, so I'll read this for the folks in the back. So it's 8 or 9 a.m. you arrive at work. This is called cold call reluctant. You decide to go get a cup of coffee and talk to your colleagues about the family and what happened last night in the news. Around 9 to 10 o'clock after your conversation done, you check some email, maybe click on a few internet links, read a few jokes, and so forth and so on. Woo! Right? Then you're like, okay, 11 o'clock, you start sorting your leads and decide what you're going to call on today. By the time you're done, it's almost lunch, and you said, well, let's wait till after lunch. Right? So you wait till after lunch. Lunchtime comes back, you think to yourself, people are just getting back from lunch, so I'll wait a while. Right? Are you getting it? Because that's what we do, don't we? Everything not to make the phone call, right? And then 2 to 3, I had to run an errand or attend an important impromptu meeting. I'll start calling as soon as I get out of the meeting. 3 o'clock, I finally made a few phone calls. I got several voicemails, maybe because it's busy time for the day, so maybe I'll wait till later, a little longer. So 4 or 5 rolls around, you say, well, let me wrap up before the day leaves. The rest of the calls can wait till tomorrow. Wow, what a long and productive day I had today. It's exactly what most of you do who are in sales, right? Everything not to get on that phone. Now, answer that question above.
Absolutely.
Does a call have value? No. Wait.
It depends.
No. Ah. Just wait. Hey, just wait. Now, if somebody you call and nobody answers, does that call have a value?
No. Yes, it does.
Does the call have a value?
No.
All right. Let's say you made 100 calls but only closed 3 deals. Would that motivate you?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, it depends on the size of the deal. That's the time to use it. See, you're using it depends inappropriately. Okay? If I told you I'd pay you $100 per call, would you be motivated? Right now, let's just say I said to you, look, every time you pick up the phone call, made a call, whether you got somebody or not, I'm going to pay you $100. How often would you call?
Every day.
By the way, would you have problem with that cold call reluctance? No. Would you have time to go get some milk or cookies? No. Right? Yeah, you wouldn't even want to go to meetings, right? Like, oh, leave me alone. I'm earning $100, right? You say no. Damn. Right? You wouldn't go anywhere, right? You stay there, right? Why is it if I pay you $100 to make a phone call, all of a sudden it's like, da-da-da-da, I don't have call reluctance anymore, right? Why? Because you're getting paid, right? And you can see $100, you're like trying to get every $100 you can, right? It's like dialing for dollars, right? All right, so you did 100 cold calls, 15 appointments, 3 successful sales. The average sale was $15,000, your total sale. was $15,000. Can you see that? Okay? So what is your sales per call was what? $150. Do you see the value of a phone call? Made 100 phone calls, only got 3 deals. You got $15,000 out of the deal, but on average, each call was worth $150 to you. Did your brain just shift a little bit? Because I'm trying to get you to look at cold calling that way. That even if nobody answers, there's a value to that call. Because the law of averages has to kick in, right? Eventually, somebody has to. Now, some of you have heard my nightclub story, right? Who heard my nightclub story? A couple people? All right, real quick. I had one of those nights. Fellas, raise your hand if you're with me. One of those nights you go to a club, you're dancing, or you're trying to dance, and every girl says no. Raise your hand.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, ladies, the 3 guys that raise their hands, those are the only honest guys in the room. The rest are lying, okay? I had one of those nights. I had one of those nights that no matter who I asked, they said no. So I said to myself, I'm going to keep asking till one of them says yes. I did. 14. The 14th one finally said yes, right? 14th one, don't laugh. That was painful that night. She's laughing at my pain. So 14th one finally said yes, and you know what happens, right? You get out there, they change the song, you got to start the mission all over again. And now what I learned that night, I want you to remember. What I want you to remember is this: that night I learned that women have 3 ways of saying no, right? Let me categorize them for you. I put them into 3 DEFCON levels for you. Okay, DEFCON level 1. You walk up to them, you say, would you like to dance? They go, no, no thank you, not right now, not my song, just sipping with my girlfriends, right? And that's kind of cool, I can live with that, right? DEFCON level 2, right? You go up to them, you ask them to dance, and they kind of, no. Right here. That's DEFCON level 2, right? Now the 3rd one is that you walk up, you ask them about to dance, and they do this. Yeah, right? Right? Women are going, yeah, I'm 3. I do 3 a lot. So now, because this is what I want you, thank you for the sympathy, I appreciate it. But anyways, too late. So, I'm already emotionally scarred. Hey, here's my point. Here's my point. When you're doing cold calls, I want you to remember this. You're always going to get nice no's, not so nice no's, and very rude no's. But should that stop you? No. You're with me. Okay. I'm sharing. Okay, making the sale. Did you know? Did you ever wonder how many phone calls it takes to make a sale? 2% of the sales are made on the first call. 3% of the sales are made on the second call. 5% of the sales are made on the 3rd call. 10% are made on the 4th call. Look at this. 80% of all sales are made after the 5th phone call. Damn, 5.
What's the source of those stats?
What's the source of those stats?
Man, never asked.
You know, all I ask is people be patient. I'm going somewhere. I'm on a train right here. Just enjoy. Look out the window once in a while. Just let me finish. Just for that, I'm erasing the source. All right, you got that? Good. I'll come back to it. I gotta go. I'll give it to you later. Now, look at this. If 80% of all new sales calls are made on the 5th phone call, did you know 48% quit on the 1st phone call, 25 quit on the 2nd, 12 quit on the 3rd, 5% quit after the 4th, and only 10% keep calling? You wonder why you're not making a lot of money? Because you're probably stopping after 1 or 2, am I right? Right? That's why you're not making a lot of money in sales. Okay? Because you're stopping. And sometimes you don't even get somebody on the phone call. You realize that, leave the voicemail. Always leave the voicemail. Okay? By the way, there's your source. National Sales Executive Association. I would never put numbers up there that had a source. Thought you knew me by now. I thought we'd established a bond of confidence. Apparently not. Okay. All right, good. All right. I'm going to give you a case study because we're going to talk about 6 figures. I'm cruising, man. We're going to make this lunchtime. All right? You guys with me so far? Yeah. Okay. All right. By the way, this is why my wife lets me leave. She's like, dude, take your energy elsewhere. It's killing me here. So, somebody got the subtlety of that? Good. All right. I'm going to give you an example. I'm going to set up a scenario. Now, at this point, would you agree with me, if you're so kind, would you agree with me that I've given you almost every tool you need to be successful? Yes. Am I right? Yes. We talked about, just all the little tools you need, right? Yes. There should be no reason why you walk out this door saying, I can't do this, I can't do that. I've given you contacts, I've given you lists, tools, software, everything. At this point, that little voice should just shut up and say, now how do we make money? Okay? Because now we get into the six-figure part. But I couldn't show you this until you begin to understand all the other things before that. I showed you about product creation, so forth and so on. Okay? Now, let's talk about making money. Now, here's an example of a lady. This is a lady, and I have multiple scenarios here. Don't draw conclusions before you go through it. This is her career goals. It's an example of a lady. I'll tell you who it is later. She likes dancing. She wants to be a dancer. She wants to be a writer. Wants to have community involvement, right? Likes film. Wants to be involved with film. Art. Raise your hand if you can identify with this lady. Right? Yeah, right? I mean, that's kind of a cool gig, right? If I can find that. If I can find that, that'd be great. Now, be honest. As a non-professional dancer, as a non-professional filmmaker, just looking at face value, does that look like that's going to make a lot of money? No. You're probably thinking, there's no way. Right? Right? Now, personal inventory. So the lady takes personal inventory, what she's good at. Okay? Good at dancing, obviously. Good writer. Again, master of the obvious. Great people skills, got to have it. Very creative. To be a dancer, so forth, you would have to be, right? Love working on computers. Love working on computers. Okay? And very well organized. That's where she lost me. Okay? So now again, what I'm trying to set up is this. Here's a person who has some personal goals. She takes personal inventory, and this is what she says, you know, these are the things I'm good at. Okay, have you ever done that to yourself? This is what I like to do, but these are the things I'm good at. Because what I'm going to try to help you now is to bridge what you like to do, what you're good at, do this, and make six figures, okay? She's goal-oriented. Good.
I know what you can do.
Okay. Okay. Now, I want you to look at this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to force her to go through what I call the funnel. Going into the funnel. And so she's writer, dancer, community, film, I said pick your top three. I won't go into the analysis of how we did this, okay? But it's all mapped out, charts and everything. And we got down to 3, then you got down to 1, the dancer, okay? So that's it. She's a dancer. She still has all these resources, but she's a dancer, okay? Now what we have to do is figure out how you can make, as a non-professional dancer, 6 figures, okay? Legitimately, of course.
It depends.
It's legal.
Come on, people.
For those of you on the DVD, you don't want to know. All right, so what do you think? Seriously, do you think you can combine these skill sets legitimately to have the ideal career?
Absolutely.
Is it possible to make lots of money dancing and helping out the community legitimately?
Yes. Yes.
And here's my final question. Over $100,000. Could you do it? Could you put all these things together? Do it. Absolutely. I'm going to show you how she did it, okay?
Okay.
Here's the revenue model. First thing she wanted to do, and I'm going to tell you who this is, because I know you want the source. Okay? All right, so this is what she started out doing. She started having 1-hour classes every weekend, and she signed up students at $25. Now, how many of us here are parents? Parents, right? Now, if somebody's going to take your kid for an hour, would you pay it? I would. I love my kids, but you can have them for $25. So, for an hour. So, now, what she did was, so if she's got 20 students at $25 for 1 hour, she's making $500 for that hour. Is that a good rate? Yeah. Absolutely. It's something she loves. It's not work, is it? Then she decides to add 4 classes, one every other hour, right? 4 classes on one weekend on Saturday. Run the numbers. $2,000 for that Saturday. Now, could she add classes on Friday, Saturday during the week? Absolutely, right? You get the idea? Yeah. 4 days a month, she's making $8,000. See where this is going? Yeah. Okay? It's all about how you apply the model to your business. How do you take your talent and how do you monetize the talent to make money? So now, she sells clothing. You know what she did? She had all these clothes, like she had these overalls, and it had the company's name and everything. It was really cool. You know, just a dance troupe. And what happens with kids today? If one has it, everybody wants it. So now she's selling the clothing as well. So then she says, you know, a lot of kids are going home and they're still not getting the dance moves, right? So what does she create? She videos herself and she does the whole video thing, and then she turns around and sells the DVDs back to her students. Nice. And if they sign up for 3 months, the DVDs are free. Get the idea? It generates about $1,000 a month. Ching, ching, ching. You're starting to add up the numbers here? Okay? And then, because you got to do this, every 3 months or so, what does she have? A talent show. Because all the proud parents want to go see where their money was invested, right? And she's not going to sell the parents anything, but she's going to record a DVD, and guess what? Parents are going to buy the DVD every 3 months, right? Or whatever may come, and sign up for another 3 months, right? You see the numbers, how they're rolling yet? You getting it? So now, that's what she's creating. That's the exit funnel. And this is what I want you to start paying attention to. When you define that you're a dancer, when you come out the exit funnel, you start creating product. Clothing, classes, and video. Then she created like the music, it should have been video, clothing, classes. You see what I mean? She's creating revenue streams. Am I right? Yes. So what she's doing, here's her annual revenue stream. If we add those, if we believe those numbers, that's what she's making. If we believe those numbers, that's what she's making. Does that sound reasonable so far? Now, let's walk through this. You can't say, we know where to find clothing if we wanted to find a supplier today, right? Yeah. Thomas Net, Alibaba. I showed you that, right? Okay. Classes you can do, just rent out any place for about an hour, right? So you can do that. Videos, we talked about that, right? Video it, put it on a DVD, easy to do. You go to Discmasters or something else. Events, one of these, whatever it may be. Do you believe these numbers? In other words, in your mind, does that make sense? Right. So now, here's a lady. She has a company. It's called hiphopkids.net. Okay? Here's your source. Susie Stone, Florida-based. Stone now employs 3 people full-time, as well as 12 part-time dance instructors. Revenues exceed $300,000 per year. Okay? Oh, it doesn't stop there. The figure doesn't include the 10% she takes from growing the side business as a manager. Okay? Here's the killer part. She decided to franchise. Franchise. Can you say the word franchise? Because that's what she did. It's a system, right? And so what she did is she packaged it up, and she now franchises the system. If you wanted to set up hiphopkids.net in your state, you would buy the franchise from her, right? $30,000 to $50,000 is the average franchise. So if you wanted to set up, she'd give you the whole system. She'd train you, do everything. $30,000 to $50,000 is average for a franchise. If she gets 1 franchise a month, can you run those numbers in your head? This was written in 2000. She's well over $1 million now. Now think about that. A dancer, a non-professional dancer who took a simple concept and expanded it into what? Multiple streams of income, right? So she took that, she took her personal goals, right? You know, she used those skills. Look, this is what I'm trying to get to. There's things that you're good at. Just take those skills, find the angle of how to generate the revenue. There's so many creative ways to make money that your job isn't if there's a way. The if shouldn't be there. There is a way. You just have to figure it out. That's all you have to do, is figure the model out. And I'm showing you this so you can get it. Get it? Got it. Good. Now, if you look at the whole thing, there it is, the double funnel. Right? You come in with all your ideas of what you want to do. You narrow it down to what? One. Didn't I say we all about one market niche? Within that market niche, what do? We create other products that we can sell. Right? Before this day, you probably thought a dancer, legitimate dancer, couldn't make a lot of money. But now you see that somebody can make multiple products within that market segment. So what I'm asking you is to think, what can I do to create multiple streams of income? So that's what we want to create, no? You got videos, you got classes, you got da, multiple streams of income. Do you like the double funnel? Raise your hand.
Love it.
Great. Can use it. Registered. Book release. ISBN. And the website is registered also. Trademark. So, all of a sudden, this I think is great, because if you apply this method to everything, you begin to understand how you can generate. So when you sit down, put yourself through the double funnel. Pick one thing that you're good at, that you like, that kind of combines everything you like. Now, remember, she didn't have all the things she liked in that job, but she had a lot of them, right? She was doing a lot of things. Because you tell people, what are you good at? They go, I'm good at a lot of things, right? But if you can take as many as you can and apply it into a job, wouldn't that be an ideal situation where you can using it? But here's somebody who took her passion and created a 6-figure income. And so again, I'm trying to break that mental block you have, that you believe that I have to have an original product or something unusual. Something as simple as being in the community doing that She's generating 6 figures. The franchise thing was genius. Because all of a sudden, can you create something where you can turn around and do your own franchise? Can you? Yes. Absolutely. Yes. Okay. All right, so what we want to do is what? Monetize our expertise. You make money off what you know. You make money off what you know. All right, so I got to wrap up here. By the way, can a teacher make 6 figures? Let's do it real quick. Person's not afraid to speak in front of an audience. By the way, if I asked you right now to write me an article, 700 to 800 words a month, could you do it? Absolutely. Just one article a month? Absolutely. Give me a big yes. Yes. All right, good. Now, teacher salary is about $36,000, and I know it depends on what state. That's just an average. Let me ask you a question. After 12 months, with 12 articles, what do I have? A what? A book. Right? Yes. Does a book position me as an expert? Yes. You're with me? All right, let's do that. Let's say her first year's salary is $3,000. She can make $36,000, right? That's $3,000 a month, $36,000 a year. With me so far? Yes. Let's say she gets one speaking engagement. Somebody wants to hear her talk about how she colors inside the lines. Okay? Something like that. How do you do it? What techniques do you use? Well, I use the Bayesian technique, which allows me, whatever it is. So, one speaking engagement a month is what? $18,000. She sells $200 worth of books. Let's say they're like $10 a pop. She only sells 20, $200. It's not ridiculous, am I right? It's not ridiculous. I'm being reasonable. $56,000. So now she starts speaking twice a month. You double the numbers, right? Oh, by the way, you see this one here? I gave her a raise. Because that's what teachers get, a raise, a $1 raise. Talk about an underappreciated resources, there it is. So now, do you see that? Now she speaks twice a month, she gets $3,000, sells twice as many books, you have $76,000. I don't need to go any further, right? 801. Right? So, yeah, $76,801. So you see, if I do this one more time, can she start making more money? Yes. Can she hit her 6 figures? Yes. By the way, what happens about right here? She's almost making the same as here, right? Bye-bye. You know, you have the option. Isn't that what we want? Yes. Now, you can sell books, videos, DVDs, do seminars. We talked about this, right? You all with me on that? Good. Yes. Now, somebody asked me, Victor, what'd you do in the speaking business? Start speaking. Here's my graph. See, I just couldn't give you a number. I gave you a business chart. Because I'm scared of those suits in the back right there. They're looking at me like, dude, put a graph up there. Because I'm getting, you know, these. So, that's what it looks like. My first year did about 50,000, 97, surpassed 125 just speaking. Okay? And that's because I was only making $2,500. When I first started, remember, what did everybody do when I first started doing this? They laughed. They laughed, right? When I told my mother I wanted to speak, what did they do? They laughed. Then when I told my mother, look, I'm getting $2,500 per speech for an hour, they're like, damn. Right? And by the way, I'm going to tell you something. You get a lot more friends when you start making money. Because all of a sudden they start calling you up, hey, Vic, how's it going? I said, what the hell is this? It's one of those, haven't talked to you in a while. I said, no, man, just call to see how you're doing. I said, I'm doing well. Heard you're doing well in the speaking business. Oh, I know why you're calling. Wants the information, doesn't he, right? And then he's like, no, Vic, I believed in you from day one. I didn't show it, but I believed in you. I was in here, man, I knew you were going to do it. Yeah, and you know what I did? Well, I'll tell you what I did later. But anyway, so, see, let me tell you what I did. And what I did was, I created, by the way, these are going to be available in the back if you want to buy one. I created a How to Make $100,000 in the College Market DVD audio program. And let them buy it, right? I created another program called Speak and Grow Richer Through Internet Marketing. How, as a speaker, you can make 6 figures, right? And by the way, after lunch, I'm going to show you how I generate leads through the internet. And I'll show you what it generates me, and I'll show you tangible information. Because with that information, I got tired of giving it away for free. So what I did is I held a seminar, recorded it, and now I sell the product. You monetize your information. Get it? Got it. Good. Now, by the way, and those are the products right there. So that's what I did. I just flipped it over and recorded them, okay? All right. By the way, these folks have been great to me. I said, give me a slide. I just want to promote you in case anybody wants to use your service. All this stuff that I do, I almost fell. All this stuff that I do, what I love about it is that I don't carry inventory. Okay? All the DVDs in here, I don't carry inventory. What I do is that they have all the graphics and everything, and they do all the printing on demand. So all I do is I get an order, right, and I send it to them, and they print it, and they send it. No inventory. Total charge? Well, you don't want to know my costs. Okay? This company right here, Fulfillment Central. So if you're thinking of doing something like that, you're putting an information product together, they'll help you with the graphics. But the best thing is they do the delivery. So this is what I do. On my website, I programmed it that when I get an order, it sends them a what? An email. What's the mechanism? An autoresponder. So they go, they ship it out hands-free. I'm wireless. I don't have to touch it. And that's the way I like to do business, okay? And they charge me a fraction. They charge me about 10% of the cost. Okay, so it's not that expensive. I can live with it. And again, it's all lifestyle, isn't it? So this is what I did. I got to show you this. You can't see in the back. But because I know people like data, say, Victor, do you really make money? Right? Because there's some doubting Thomases. So what I did is I created a website called Get Speaking Gigs, right? Where you can buy that stuff, right? And so I've said, by the way, the dates here, just so you know, this is recent. Now, it wasn't like 3 years ago. Okay? This is June 9th. This is May through June, my orders, right? In 24 days, I made about $2,400. I'm here talking to you, and I make money. Okay? Do you see how that works? I took my information, I monetized it, and sent it off. But here's the key part. I'm going to try to wrap up here. How did they hear about me? Internet marketing, internet search, Google search, internet through Victor's email, search engine. When we come back from lunch, I'm telling you, I'm going to show you how to drive traffic to your website if you're not getting any. So do I make money? Yeah, make a little bit. Look at this thing. I was going to show you this. My first contract, well, this is my second one actually, but I wanted data because people never believe when I tell them. This is what I get per hour now. $7,500. By the way, March 4th, 2006. $7,500 for what? A 60-minute keynote. Can you make money? Yeah. They're not laughing anymore. They're not laughing anymore. You know what I mean? Now I tell Mommy, she's like, oh, I knew you could do it too. You know. But by the way, they gave me nationwide magazine promotion. They pre-purchased 800 books at $7. So 5,600 books on top, $5,600 on top of that, it was almost a $13,000 hour. Plus, they had 3 cameras shooting me that night because it was about a crowd of over 2,000. What did they give me? A free DVD. And they mailed it out to all their suppliers. You couldn't buy that type of marketing. And what I'm trying to say is not, here's what I want you to get. I'm not trying to impress you. I'm trying to impress upon you that it is possible. That if you think about something you want to do, that's what you should be thinking about. On that note, I'm going to stop right here. My man Mike Owen's going to come up, and I got a slide somewhere about right there. By the way, these are my speaking. People always say, do you really speak? Here's the biggest crowd, right? I lost it. There. Isn't that cool? Yeah. The big gym. So anyway, we'll see this after lunch, right? And then now I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Jimmy Network himself. Mike Owen, give him a hand. I'll see you guys after lunch, okay?